Ahoy landlubbers, it's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. It is Saturday, February 18th, 2023, and you know what? I didn't think I'd get a game set up for today, and frankly, time will tell if I did. But I decided I would play a new one. I'm gonna try out something I've seen a lot of talk about, and that's probably because simply because I follow Watch It Eye on Twitter. They've been making posts about how this game was nominated for like a lot of adventure game adjacent awards from 2022. It is important to note before we start playing the Excavation of Hob's Barrow that we're on the home screen more or less. I'm on the settings menu, and there's that. That's the thing. Is for some reason the start menu has a jump scare sound. It's very much like Scraw. If you saw my playthrough of the Unavowed, the menu there had a very similar effect for no discernible reason. But yeah, I don't know if that means that the game is jump scare. I do believe it's like a horror game, but I think it's supposed to be more of like a subtle, deliberate creeping horror. I get a sense like it is a similar vibe of story to Darkest Dungeon, but I don't really know all that much about the game other than it seems cool. And I hear good things, and we're gonna play it, and we're probably gonna get another jump scare before I manage to start playing it. I've played like 2 scenes of this to try and get the audio to a good level. Concerningly, during those scenes, which admittedly, oh look, I don't think I was ever on the home screen where I noticed that it was doing a weird visual effect. That's interesting. Yeah, like a horror adventure game. I was musing to myself today, like, why is it that horror and adventure games seem like such a popular combination these days? And I actually came up with a reason, and I guess we could talk about that a little bit later. There's gonna be like a lot of cutscene. I don't want to sit here on the jump scare sound for eternity. But yeah, it's like the home screen's got like a real Unavowed vibe, which, like, you know, Watch It Eye, it really shouldn't be that surprising to me. But like during the course of the 2 scenes that I have seen a little bit of, I did not have any ability to control the options, so we're gonna hope that the sound settings are good. It may take a minute to be able to adjust them otherwise. Anyway, the Excavation of Hob's Barrow begins. I am this well-to-do woman with an umbrella in the rain. I don't have a whole lot more information for you than that. Hello there.
Ah, Miss Bateman. Welcome back to Ticehurst House. It's been quite some time.
I think that's about where I want that audio. I think it's at least close. It shouldn't be horrible. It's a good vibe. She's got a good vibe.
Terrible weather this evening, is it not? Nurse Blaketon has had enough of me smoking inside. Makes her cough, you see.
I wonder why that might be.
A bit of rain won't kill me, will it?
I don't know.
You mustn't be interested in me nattering on.
I mean, I got places I could
My
be.
regards to your father. Nurse Blaketon is preparing his supper.
The spacing of those lines felt really weird to me when I was doing this for the test. Give my regards to your father, Nurse Blaketon.
You look pale, Miss Bateman. Do head inside. We'll catch your death out here.
It won't kill you, but it'll kill me, huh? What's this gender-discriminating rain all about? No bueno. See, now the title's all bloody. Ugh, it's a mess. I'm gonna hate cleaning that up. I mean, love the pixel art train. The lack of real train sounds and the
Dearest
spooky
mother.
baseline is troubling. So yeah, this is the other scene. I haven't even played this scene to its conclusion. Again, was just trying to like get a sense of the audio levels. For some reason, she talks much louder in this scene than the dude spoke in the last scene. And that's really like all the information I got. So we'll adjust as needed. I may also need to live in a different corner of the screen. I frankly don't know where I belong yet.
I hope this letter will reach you.
It's interesting that she hasn't actually spoken anything yet. We've only heard, like, internal monologue of her reading this letter. She looks
I have
very,
spent
like...
these past years in torment, trying to piece together what remains of fractured memories.
Seems, like, very disaffected. Wait, give me a second. Boop. I'm gonna move me out of the way of this. I don't know if all the dialogue lives all the way across the bottom. For some reason, I feel like top right is more likely to have stuff in it. I don't know. We'll work it out. But like, yeah, she's like narrating a letter, and there's like spooky stuff. It's like feels like a Darkest Dungeon setup. I don't know. But it's not a Darkest Dungeon game. It's like a adventure game.
What I am about to recount to you will seem beyond comprehension, but I beg for your patience.
That again just kind of sounds Darkest Dungeon. Sheepy. Sheep.
I will endeavour to explain the events that led me to Ticehurst House that night. As far as I can recall, this whole wretched story started with the receipt of a letter from a Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Leonard Shoulder? That sounds like a fake name. Oh, okay. We're very close to her face. You heard of an extreme close-up? It's not for everyday situations. I think she's playing my favorite game, Free Your Tunnel.
To the isolated village of Bewley, deep in the moors.
What I've seen of this game, I really like its like super atmospheric direction.
I hope the village isn't too far away. I can't recall our exact meeting place. Mr. Shoulder mentioned it in his letter.
I'm gonna have a whole lot of trouble taking Mr. Shoulder seriously as a name, frankly. Alright. So, I guess that was all our opening, and now we're playing the feud. That's cool. That should mean that we're able to adjust audio levels again if needed. Still not sure where I should live on the screen. The tutorial takes the whole screen. I think the dialogue lives at the bottom. I don't know. Hi, Demolition. It's going. So, this is the Excavation of Hob's Barrow. It's an adventure game I'd heard some things about last year. I think it's another of the ones that Cotillion pointed out to me. Or someone... I feel like someone definitely mentioned this game to me. And it sort of fell off my radar until, like, recently. I've heard a lot of talk about it, like, being nominated for, like, awards from, like, 2022 games. And, I don't know, I'm in, like, the weird depression brain space where I'm just like, I can't decide what's good, but the universe sort of decides for me. And, like, today I was like, I don't feel like carrying on, like, a whole conversation of, like, trying to carry 3 hours of discussion while placing tiles on Dwarf Romantic as much as I love the game. So, I looked into the two games I had, like, vaguely alluded to yesterday and found that one of them is a co-op game, so I wasn't playing that one. And then I looked into this one, and, like, yeah, February spookiness is, like, a weird combination, perhaps, but, I don't know, something draws me to this. Maybe it's because it seems, like, very ominous, and that, like, aligns with whatever's going on in my head, but, like, it has this really interesting art style where, from what I understand, like, there are, like, cutscenes where you get sort of close-ups of character portraits, and they have this, like, weird, ominous quality to them that's fascinating, that sort of, like, belies something scarier happening while kind of just being a stylized way to depict stuff. I don't know very much about this game. We'll find out together. Also, hello, Arcadius. Hello, everyone. So, left click is walk, interact, right click is examine. Straightforward enough. To access inventory and menu, move to the top of the screen. Okay. Left click on an inventory item to select it, right click to examine. Sure, that seems consistent. Once an inventory item is selected, you can right click to deselect it. Alright, that's a little weird, but I think I tracked that. You can double click on an exit to teleport directly to it. Not how I would describe that, but fair. The game will occasionally autosave, but you can manually save at any time using the menu. There's a map button. There are quick save and quick load buttons. That's not good. That is a bad sign. That is like a Sierra game functionality. And spacebar is your cheat and show hotspots. Okay. Alright. I like that to close the tutorial pop-up, you don't click OK or just click past it, you must click understood. Game saved. Okay. Very, very interesting. It's all very interesting. And again, I'll point out, now, I've opened and closed this game a couple times trying to, like, toggle the settings. Thus far, it has not saved my settings. Now that I have a save file on the game, I'm hoping that it does the Lamplight City thing, and will remember it within the save, but we'll find that out later, too. Probably. I don't think I actually necessarily need to make any adjustments yet. I kind of just wanted to prove to myself that I could use the menu now. So spooky.
If I take the sign, how would the trains know where to stop?
There's like a whole building there. But I really love your initiative of thinking that, like, the only obstacle to me taking this entire train station town name sign is that it's, like, maybe a mean idea. That, like, otherwise I would definitely jam it in my pocket. Like, that feels like a good start.
Hello? Hello there?
I like how she sort of glides around the building.
I ought to read Mr. Shoulder's letter again. I can't recall the name of our meeting place.
No, I didn't pick up on that. I was busy talking to myself. I didn't realize that it was an inventory item and sort of a tutorial. So, does she want to examine? Okay, examine the letter. Dear Miss Bateman, I write this letter in the hope of piquing your curiosity. I read about your experience in Barrows, and if I understand correctly, you're writing a book on them and the treasure they contain. I'm not sure I'm British enough to really appreciate the implication of expertise in Barrows. I live in the village of Bewley, where a most special barrow can be found on the outskirts. It is rectangular in form and is certainly tall enough to stand up in. This place is steeped in local legend. There's rumor of secrets to be found deep within. I hope you will not misunderstand me and find this letter intrusive. If you wish to visit Bewley and excavate the barrow, I will be pleased to be your guide. Please send your response to the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewley. I shall await your letter. Yours respectfully, Mr. Leonard Shoulder, a.k.a. Mr. Fake McNamerson. Ah, this is a response letter. I thought there was going to be a PS, so I was confused that a new letter started. Dear Miss Bateman, marvelous news. I shall meet you at 8 o'clock in the evening on the 14th of this new month, at the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewley. The inn has fine rooms, which you will find adequate for your short stay. When we meet, I shall tell you more of the circumstances surrounding the site, which is referred to locally as Hob's Barrow. It is not located on my own land, but we will have no issue gaining permission to excavate, because it's super creepy and cursed and no one lives there. I wish you a safe journey. Yours truly, Leonard Shoulder. Oh, Angel. Welcome to the stream. You haven't missed much. We're in the tutorial of this spooky game. We showed up at a town called Bewley, and we're looking for a barrow, because we're super good at barrows, and I don't know what that means.
I must make my way to the Plough and Furrow Inn.
I don't need a map to get to Bonetown.
I don't need a map to get to Bonetown, but I must admit that I'm not familiar with the Plough and Furrow Inn. But now that I'm saying it out loud, I do understand the connection in your mind. It's more like I'm less familiar with the furrow, if you catch my meaning.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Do you know where I'm going?
I'm looking for the Plough and Furrow Inn. Do you know where I can find it?
Ah, young lady. Leave the station and follow the dry stone wall for around half a mile. You'll come to Bewley. Go straight ahead and you'll find the market square. The inn is t'other side at square.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I've remembered what it was I was going to change in the settings. But there's something really funny to me about giving the direction of, like, follow the dry stone wall for, like, a mile. Like, there's just something about that sounds weird.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Well, it used to be a thriving village. Not so much now. I don't spend much time there these days.
Is
Are
it a
you local?
jiving village where dance is
yes,
popular?
a local I am, but I don't live in the village.
Where are you travelling to today?
That would be none of your business, young lady.
Got me
Quite.
so good.
Apologies. I wish you a pleasant journey.
That's very polite. That's just a nice thing to say to people, even though if you did it today, people would think you were insane. Hey, Cotillion. I was trying to remember, is this one of the many games you've told me to look into? I feel like it is. Let me see if I can set up that thing that I'm remembering. Click to advance on. It's the same setting that Lamplight City had. Let's do a save. Let's do a save. Okay, we succeeded at it. Doesn't sound familiar. Alright, someone else. It's not particularly important, but I know that you are perhaps the biggest purveyor of telling me games I should know about, but don't follow games closely enough to know about. How's your day going? I'm gonna see if I can follow this dry stone wall to the plow and furrow in.
What brings you to Bewley?
Oh, you get to ask my business, but I don't get to ask yours?
I beg your pardon?
What brings you to Bewley, miss?
Some sort of cursed Barrow? Whatever exactly that is? I wonder how important this is. I really don't have much of a sense of what kind of game this is. I just really like its vibe. And also I like adventure games, so I'm inclined to give it a shot. I think mainly I want to lie because, like, she was all like, you don't get to ask me questions. I'm like, why would I answer your question?
Just a bit of sightseeing.
We don't get many of your type out here.
I love, plowing and furrowing. I should go.
My type.
City folks. Curious young ladies. Not much to be seen in Bewley, if you ask me. You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
She seems to have forgotten a whole word out of that
I'll take my
sentence.
chances.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
Yes, I can. I'm perfectly
was odd.
capable of lying. Now I leave? Kind of figured that following the dry stone wall would go in the other direction, but I'm not personally an expert in barrows or what have you. Was that screen necessary? Oh, I get it now. Think I get it. Hang on. No, I don't have access to the map button. It was in the tutorial page, but I don't have it yet. Hello, Crow. Oh, I scared it. I'm sorry, Crow. I wanted to have a conversation. You think I'm gonna know the plow and furrow in when I get there? Yeah, I know.
Blacksmith looks closed.
I know the accompanying sound
Beating
effect.
raw metal into a fine object is an admirable skill.
You know, at this exact scale, something seems a little off with our protagonist's face. Ooh, can I have
The
this
bucket is
bucket?
rusty and full of holes.
That doesn't answer my question as to whether I can have it.
The bucket is The bucket has seen better days.
Same bucket. It's weird that
The bucket is rusty and full of holes.
when I, like, click to examine an object, the music, like, goes away completely. I don't know if that has something to do with the fact that I've set the music volume low, or it's just, like, a weird thing about the game.
This must belong to someone. I should leave it alone.
I'm concerned she is not a very good adventure game protagonist. There's, like, a bunch of stuff that's not nailed down, and she's like, I don't see a reason to just take someone's whole cart from them.
It looks like I'm in the market square. I should find the inn.
I honestly don't precisely remember the directions after the wall. I was expecting the wall to be more of that journey.
It looks like I'm...
Okay. Oh, it's a scrolling... Oh, you're gonna be one of those games, huh? Okay. Good to learn that early, I guess. What's like sloshing like a canteen? I sure hope it's not me. Hey, it's the plow and furrow inn. I no longer need a map to get here.
Furrow. I have a bit of time before Mr. Shoulder arrives. I should inquire about a room.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this guy is blocking the doorway. Oh, I discerned the source of the canteen noise. It's a flask. Is this guy friendly? Friend or foe?
Hello there.
Music presence is very peculiar. Off the top of my head, no, and I have the wrong tab open to check that demolition. Is that information important to you? It wouldn't be a huge inconvenience, but it would make the game audio go away to check it.
What's the young lady doing out alone in this sodden weather?
I don't know what type of character I am. These all feel like pretty, like, distinct options. I feel like simply saying what I'm doing is kind of, like, naive in a way. Get out of the way, sir, you're drunk is definitely somewhat confrontational, but, like, reasonable because he is impeding on our personal space and whatnot. The last one is, like, very combative. I think I'm kind of already tired of people asking questions that aren't their business, so I feel like I'm gonna go with the bottom.
What are you doing out in this weather?
Waiting for you, my dear.
Well, that's not a great
I
answer.
doubt that.
And I've waited long enough. So, give us a kiss now, won't you?
Yeah, like an actual ghoul. I have no idea what kind of game this is. Is this a game where these decisions will, like, affect some sort of reputation that I have with the locals? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of refreshing to just sort of take this in. It says that's what I imagine women see when I go to give them a kiss. I mean, big same. For sure, big same. Literal ghoul face. I mean, humor him seems like a horrific idea, even though I don't think it's like literally just give the strange man a kiss. Whatever it implies, I don't think I'm here for it. I don't know. So, like, chat, what type of protagonist do we think we are? Do we think that we are like a intellectual no-nonsense type, or just like a, genuinely don't mess with me? Like, for real, like, I will handle my business and you will stay out of it. Alright, let's slap her.
How dare you?
I like that she carefully set her bag down first.
What a buffoon.
I got a slap-based achievement for that. Is there like one pink plate or whatever that is? I should speak to the innkeeper
about a room.
I like to imagine that she just said that out loud to herself. I am definitely troubled by the way this game saves. This is definitely a game where you can die like 100%. Like a traditional, like, LucasArts style adventure game does not require a quick save button, or particularly a quick load button.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
A room?
I am in need of a room for the night.
Aye, we aren't short of those. One night, is it?
I shall need at least 2 nights, maybe more.
Aye, 'tis not a problem. 3 shilling per night. That includes your dinner and tea.
Wow. I mean, I don't really have a sense of what a shilling will get you these days, but I imagine inflation has decreased it quite significantly from that.
Fair price.
I'll need that payment up front for the 2 nights.
What's in my inventory?
I have 6 shillings and 2 pence. My assistant Kenneth is bringing more funds tomorrow.
Well, that sounds
I don't
like enough.
Traveling with too much money on me.
shillings and pence to me. Also have a
Gift
handkerchief.
from my mother. It bears my initials, TB.
You know, that sounds really ominous for this time frame. Here you go, sir.
This is payment for the room.
Thank you. Can I ask for your name, lass?
Thomasina Bateman.
Thomasina? Why are all these names so fake?
And will Mr. Bateman be staying with us tonight?
No, I am not wed. My assistant is arriving in Bewley tomorrow.
Your assistant, you say? Will you be needing another room?
Please.
I'll keep a room spare. It's not quite as nice as yours, I'm afraid.
That's fine. Kenneth sucks. Maybe. I don't know.
Not a problem, sir. I'm sure it will be adequate.
I like, you know, I like that she takes that for granted because I'm reasonably certain that this is a horror game. I'd love it if she had like a totally normal bedroom and then like the assistant shows up and it's like an actual dungeon for no reason. Just like, oh, there's like a really big disparity between the nice room and the regular room.
Kenneth is a man of inexpensive taste.
Here's your key. Just go through the door to the right of the bar, then up the stairs. Room number 2.
Thank you.
Can I help you with your luggage?
No, thank you, sir. I can manage. I should go upstairs and freshen up before Mr. Shoulder arrives.
See, like, genuinely, you can see the character's mouth moving, which implies that she's saying this out loud to herself, rather than, like, an internal monologue. Acquired room key. Oh, I thought I was going to have to navigate my way to my
This should
room.
do nicely. Time to change into something more comfortable.
Is it a spacesuit? It's like Indiana Jones garb. Oh, is she letting her hair down? Or is she putting it up?
Much better.
Oh, the wrong thing. Game saved.
I don't wish to take it.
They are plates. Why was there one pink plate
I've
downstairs?
hung my dress inside. Aside from that, the wardrobe is empty.
Can't interact with the top of wardrobe towel or whatever that is?
This may come in handy.
You know, that's not where I thought that was going. Every time I try to take something, she doesn't want to do it. When I'm just trying to, like, do normal life action, she's like, I'm gonna steal
I don't wish
it.
to carry the bowl around with me.
Well, whose fault is that? Oh, hang on. Matches? I'm gonna need those matches. We're on the same page on this one, I presume.
Complimentary matches. Useful. There's only one match left, though.
That's rude. That's a rude thing to do.
Jammed shut. The wood must have warped over the years. I've stored my case in there. A box within a box.
Just like that guy in Basel with the locked trunk that probably has like a whole box in it. Guess it's back to exploring the whole town, unless I want to use my one match on this candle. Hang on, let's cool. I guess I'll talk to some weirdos now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Note for you here.
I beg your pardon?
I said there's note for you here, lass.
You can understand my confusion because I don't know what word that is because I'm quite certain it's not English.
Be on your way.
Charming.
Well, that's one way to populate your scene with an NPC and not have a whole dialogue tree for him. That's for sure.
I don't wish to take it.
You're just not going to answer my questions about the one pink plate, huh?
Good day, sir.
Not even anything from that guy. You know, I frankly appreciate it. How about this couple,
Hello, sir.
maybe?
What?
I'm waiting here for a man named Leonard Shoulder. Do you know him?
I don't. Do you, love?
Never heard of him.
There you have it. Now clear off.
Oh, it's a friendly town, this Bewley. Hello, old man.
Hello, sir.
Right.
Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
You're not local.
Good
You've
catch.
come on that bloody train, haven't you? Bewley's going to dogs.
People keep not saying the word the. Let's be polite and introduce ourselves, I guess, before insisting that I did already ask him about Leonard Shoulder, which admittedly is probably a pseudonym, but still, I would like to know.
My name is Thomasina Bateman, and you are...
It doesn't help that when we introduce ourselves, it sounds like we're giving, like, an alias.
None of your business, lass. Where's
Right.
your husband?
None of your business, sir.
Ha! You're brave coming in here, all on your own.
Do you mean to imply that, like, you're just bad? Like, this town kind of sucks. I wonder if the Ukels live nearby.
I'm a grown woman.
I'm Cyril.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cyril.
About that Leonard Shoulder.
Do you know Mr. Shoulder?
I've been diagnosed with Leonard
That'll
Shoulder.
be none of your business, lass. I don't come to your city poking around asking questions, do I? Man just wants to enjoy his ale in peace.
Let's ask him why he hates trains so much. He's clearly not a cool
I take
guy.
it you are not enamoured with the railway station.
Bewley's gonna be swarming with outsiders, like you. We don't want you coming here. It's as simple as that, lass.
Why not?
This is our town.
I assure you, I am not here to cause trouble.
We'll see about that, won't we?
I think we might see about that, yeah, to be
What
honest.
can you tell me about Bewley?
We're a proud community. I've lived here my whole life. Not much here to interest folks like you.
Folks like me.
Aye.
Bye for now.
Ta-ra, lass.
Ooh, let's go to
I
the
do
bathroom.
not need to use the...
I wanted to steal some soap or something.
The poor thing.
Freaky floor.
Miss Bateman, you've transformed.
Nah, just clothes. Is it so weird around here that, like, you don't have more than one set of
I feel
clothes?
far more comfortable in my outdoor clothing.
You look like one of those explorers you see in the newspaper.
Do you think that's the
I
goal?
guess you could call me an explorer of sorts.
I'm Stanley. Stanley Kemp.
A pleasure to meet you, Stanley.
And tell me, I trust your room is adequate.
Most adequate.
Excellent.
Very medium. Interesting. Why is there a sub-menu to disambiguate I'm looking for a man named Leonard Shoulder from Go Back?
I'm looking for a man named Leonard Shoulder.
Aye, I know the man.
I'm to meet him here tonight.
Can I get you something to drink while you wait?
Not yet, thank you.
What can you tell me about that Shoulder
What
guy?
can you tell me about Mr. Shoulder?
Aye, he's a quiet fellow. He only comes here to check his post.
Yes, I've been corresponding with him using this address.
Have you now? You found yourself an admirer.
I mean, I get that this game is set in a different time, but, like, this whole town lacks subtlety, and doesn't seem like... I'm kind of inclined to agree with Cyril that this is, like, not a great place to hang out for a young lady.
Not quite.
What business do you have with old Leonard, then?
I mean, just the way that everyone in this town acts makes me think that I, like, shouldn't tell them anything. Does that seem unreasonable? These people just shrug Mr. Shoulder off. That's very good. I like that, Jaya Platts. Anytime I talk to anyone in this town, they're like, mind your own business, and then, like, 5 seconds later, they'll be like, where's your husband? And, like, it's not like I feel like whatever I'm doing is necessarily secretive, like it would be a problem for people to find out, but, like, I just don't feel like the need to tell people anything, considering none of them have been... I mean, this guy's been a little nice, but even just, like, saying something in the bar feels like it might cause a problem. I just generally don't trust the folks of this town. It seems like a bad place.
We've become good friends through our correspondence.
So, I were right. He is an admirer then.
Not in that sense.
So you've come all the way to Bewley on your own to meet old Mr. Shoulder because of innocent letters?
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of feel like I get his inference here.
Now, I can see a lie from a mile away. You can trust me, lass. Your secrets are safe with me. I just like a chat, especially with me guests.
If this weren't like an open concept, hostile environment, I'd feel more comfortable with that,
A good, honest chat.
Well, if you must know, I am what some people call a barrow digger.
A what?
A barrow digger.
No, like, I heard you, but, like, I don't understand what that
What in
is.
God's name is that?
Are you familiar with tumuli?
Nope.
Afraid not.
Barrow is another word for tumulus, or tumuli in the plural.
Hey, Thomasina, when you ask someone, like, hey, do you know what, like, tumuli are? And they respond, no, because why would they? And then your response is to be like, well, a barrow is like that thing you don't know. I need you to understand that that's not a helpful way to answer the original question.
A profoundly interesting subject.
You've lost me.
I excavate ancient burial sites looking for relics.
Is that what a barrow is? Like a tomb sort of thing?
A barrow is traditionally a circular mound of raised earth enclosing a burial chamber.
I feel like this is a thing I should have known, and I just did not. Does it have the same, like, root word as a wheelbarrow? Because that always seemed like a weird word to me, too.
Oh, aye. You're a grave robber.
I mean, when you say it like that, it makes me not want to tell you things.
I am no such thing.
Don't worry, lass. I've met all sorts in here over the years. I won't tell anyone.
We are loudly having this conversation in public. I'm not so sure that even if I trusted you to keep the secret, it would matter at this point.
I assure you, my goal is more noble than petty grave robbery.
Not by much, mind you, but more noble.
What sort of relics do you find, then? Gold? Silver? Bones?
Silver bones?
Well, rarely gold or silver, but treasures certainly. Ancient pottery is the most common find. I've been excavating barrows all over the country. I'm documenting my findings in preparation for my book. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England.
Shall it? I feel like there could be a better name.
Oh, aye. Very interesting. But what does old Leonard have to do with this?
He sent me a letter in which he told me about an unusual barrow in Bewley, a site called Hob's Barrow. I'm meeting him here this evening to find out more.
I've lived here nigh on my whole life, and I've heard nowt about a Hob's Barrow.
People keep using that word. I don't think it means whatever you think it means, because it's not a word. We just said he doesn't know much about Hob's Barrow, so let's not start there.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
Aye, it's a quiet place.
Filled with angry, bitter weirdos.
People keep to themselves, work hard.
Do they? It seems like it's broad daylight and everyone's day drinking.
I look forward to exploring the village tomorrow.
There's not a lot to see, lass. But St. Edmund's Church is a fine building, worth a visit.
Tell me about this thing you don't know anything about.
Are you sure you've never heard of Hob's Barrow?
Not in my life, lass. But I'll tell you something. The moors stretch further than the eyes can see once you leave this village. There's no doubt many a discovery to be made.
Mr. Shoulder said the barrow is well known locally, a place of legend.
I'm afraid you're going to have to speak to him about it. Why are you interested in digging around in the dirt, lass?
Because I'm writing a dirt book about tumuli. Why is this so difficult to
Haven't
understand?
you better things to do with your time?
No, clearly not. Clearly, if I'm willing to come to this place, I don't have good things to do with my time.
I enjoy nothing more than the thrill of discovery, uncovering the past and piecing together our history.
Now, on the one hand, I really appreciate the level of enthusiasm that the voice actress has brought to this role. On the other hand, I don't know. There's something discordant about the way that our few dialogue options have branched so... I guess it's more that, like, I feel this place, like, definitely gives such an ominous vibe by any attempt to converse with anyone. Even if you only spoke to the guy who was blocking the front door, for her to not be like a little disillusioned and to be like full like passion mode talking about this like feels a little odd to me.
I inherited this passion from my father.
Oh, a barrow digger too, eh?
Indeed. He would take me with him on excavations as a child.
Does he still come with you now, on your own adventures?
I'm afraid my father's been bedbound by illness for many years.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that, lass.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp. He is well looked after at a private hospital. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Kemp.
Well, I've been the proprietor of this inn for the last 16 years. I worked as a drover all over the country in my younger days. Saved up my coin and bought this place.
It's a fine inn.
Thank you. I often run short of ale, but my rooms are rarely full.
I know fine is meant in a different way, but like given the fact that we keep calling like the accommodations like adequate, I really like to think that like the pinnacle of achievement around here is like it's super okay. This is like a tolerable place to stay the night. And he's just like, oh, thank you so much. I agree that it's super medium here. I work very hard not to excel, but also not to disappoint. It's very important to me that we straddle that line of expectations.
We don't get many outsiders wanting to stay overnight here in Bewley.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
Mr. Shoulder should really be here by now.
Should he? It still seems like daylight, and yet we were supposed to meet at like 8 p.m., weren't we?
Sit down and wait.
Time is passing.
Where on earth is he?
I think you might have gotten eaten by a grue.
What a waste of time this is turning out to be.
Agreed. Maybe his ghost is gonna haunt us in the night.
Evening there, miss.
Oh no.
Not you again.
I just wanted to apologize for earlier. I deserve that slap. I'm sorry for my behavior. The drink gets a hold of me sometimes.
This guy is Leonard Shoulder, huh?
Let's start again, shall we?
My name is Arthur Tennant.
Oh no, it's not. That's a relief. I was really concerned when he came back in. He was like, by the way, I am Leonard Shoulder. It's like, I really need to go home, like, now.
Thomasina Bateman.
Just no matter how many times I hear that, that definitely sounds like she's lying.
What brings you to Bewley, anyway?
I'm here to meet someone, but he has not arrived.
His loss, if you ask me.
Rude.
Perhaps you know the gentleman, Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, I know Mr. Shoulder all right. If I may be so bold as to say, he's a bit long in the tooth for you.
The relationship is not what you're implying. I've never met him. In fact, I know very little about him at all.
Get me an ale and I'll tell you all about the old sod.
That seems like a questionable agreement. Ah, good, I actually have a choice. The man is a liability. I appreciate the little parenthetical, like... I think the parentheticals sort of circumvent the problem that people like sometimes have with games that do this. Where, like, occasionally, you know, you'll be given some choices that sound, like, really straightforward. And then, like, you choose them, and it's like, you know, like, I'll tell him, the name of my favorite restaurant. And then, like, you choose that option, and then it's like, you actually, like, ask them on a date or something, and it's like, what? Wait, no, that's a different thing than what that dialogue option implied. But I like that the parenthetical is sort of like, this is kind of what you're suggesting by choosing this. It's a little clunky, but like I feel like it serves a nice purpose. I don't know what I expect to get out of that last option. I mean, I think it's a reasonable position to hold. Must I buy you a drink for this information? But like, what do I think happens if I just say that? That just feels like blocking from an improvisational point of view. I don't know. I mean, it sure seems dangerous to invite this man to drink, but at the same time, I haven't seen so much as a Sebastian the Crab worth of Mr. Leonard Shoulder. And if I'm gonna, like, immediately leave this place because it is a terrible place to live, I might as well know if there was any reason to coming here in the first place. So, just yes and.
One ale, coming right up.
Thank you very much, Miss Bateman. Then I'll tell you all about old Leonard Shoulder.
How can I help you?
A tankard of your finest ale, Mr. Kemp.
It's gonna be awkward if I don't have enough for this. I have no
There we
frame of
are.
reference for what it would
2 pence,
cost.
please.
Thank you.
I don't know what I'm down to, but I think I only had 2 pence in excess of however many shillings I have. I think I'm down to like 3 shillings. I don't know how important this is going to be
the last
later.
of my money.
Oh, was it?
Kenneth will be here tomorrow with more funds.
Did I forget to factor that we paid both days in advance? For some reason that seems off, but I think that's me and not the game.
Please, Miss Bateman. An ale, then I'll tell you all.
I have to manually perform the task.
Here you are, Arthur.
Thanking you.
Probably gonna really miss those
Oh, that
two
hits the spot,
2 pence
that
later.
does, lass. Now then. Old Leonard Shoulder.
It went about as poorly as I could have expected.
Arthur? Mr. Tillett?
I mean, you have to
For
understand.
heaven's sake, the man is in a drunken stupor. Mr. Tillett? He's not dead, just very drunk. I would still like to hear what he has to say about Mr. Shoulder.
I don't think I'm gonna find that out. Unless I can, like, light him on fire. Or douse him with water. That eye contact she made with the player was very Day of the Tentacle.
You passed out, Mr. Tillett.
Oh, sorry, lass. Where were I? Leonard Shoulder. Hold on another minute. I'm making for a piss.
I don't like this guy.
This man
which
is
isn't,
unbelievable.
it's not a surprise considering that I haven't liked any character that I've met so far. I mean, frankly, I'm surprised that our character is in such high spirits. I would be off it much sooner than now.
It feels like an hour has passed.
It certainly looks like at least an hour has passed. The fact that Leonard also hasn't shown up during this time seems concerning.
Perhaps I should go in there and check on him.
I don't like that the game auto-saved.
Miss Bateman? My apologies. The ladies are closed due to faulty plumbing. You'll
Rude.
have to use the gents.
Lovely.
Weird that he was keeping such close tabs on us that he, like, waited until we got up and maybe we're gonna use the restroom to say that.
Mr. Tillett?
It sounds very bad in here. It sounds and looks super cursed in this bathroom. Okay, hold on. Which of these... Oh, I have a to-do list, huh? That's fun. What's the button for quick save versus quick load? One is F5 and one is F7, and I sure didn't commit to memory which was which.
I would rather not get any closer. The smell of urine is nauseating.
Sally clicking just off the window.
Mr. Tillett? Mr. Tillett, are you in there?
No.
The jug
Can I have
is
a new jug?
empty. The water looks highly questionable. I ought to keep my hands out of it.
Don't like that notion.
The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime. Some excavations are best left to others.
Nah, I see what you did there.
Mr. Tillett, are you in there?
Cool. I think it's supposed to be a black cat,
Well,
but it
you're
kind of
not
looks like a
Mr. Tillett.
giant rat or like a raccoon or something. It is a cat. Door outside.
I can't reach the window from down here.
If I climbed up on a hostile cat...
I'd rather not touch it. The thing stinks to high heaven.
Well, it has been hanging out in this cursed bathroom. I mean...
The mangy thing is fast asleep.
Guess I just go outside? Go out the door wherever it leads?
The door opens a crack, but appears to be blocked from the other side.
So I need to perform some adventure game
I think I can hear someone moving around.
hoodwinkery to get through that window.
Mr. Tillett? Arthur, are you out there? Judging from the draft coming from below, this door must lead outside. I should investigate further. A cold draft is leaking in from under the door. This leads outside. I can see it's still raining out there.
So I guess her implication is that I just go outside then. I don't know what else there'd be to investigate on this side of the door. And I thought my character was gonna step on the cat. By my character, I mean Thomasina.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, that doesn't feel great.
Someone has wedged the door shut. Mr. Tillett, why would he have done that?
Game is nice to listen to. It's super atmospheric. I like the voice acting. I like the mysterious nature of it, but like, I just
Did
kind of
Mr.
wish that
Tillett
there
leave,
was...
then block the door behind him.
I kind of just wish I had like one character to latch onto who like wasn't a total beehole. Like, I'm kind of fine with the town being hostile for the type of game this is, but like, why would I stay here, you know? Like, I guess that's my thing right now. But yeah, like, the art's cool. It's like very stylized, but there is something like charming about it, even though like it's intentionally, I think, a little off-putting, but like mostly only in like close-ups. Like the general art style is kind of like a good retro like pixel art style, and it seems like cinematic stuff sort of gets more in depth, and like that stuff's like I think like a little uneasy, like
Sure.
intentionally, and I think that's cool.
Something strange is going on here.
I go back outside. There's like a spooky
Who
glove
was
I
that
wanted to
old
pick
chap
up.
I saw outside the alley?
I don't know, Father Christmas. It's a terrible
He
place
headed
here.
eastward. Maybe I could catch up with him and ask him if he saw Mr. Tillett.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna be like the one agreeable fellow in the whole town. Why is there like a door directly outside from this
Pearly
public
white
bathroom?
gent's glove. It's certainly unlike anything Mr. Tillett was wearing.
I feel called
Seems
out by
rather out
the
of place here. Peculiar.
general physical appearance of Arthur Tillett, by the way. Very rude to just put me in this game without my consent. So many, oh no, I'm making him horny opportunities. There's a few, are you a fan of the plow and furrow in?
I suspect the barrels are empty. Otherwise, the locals would be rolling them into their cellars.
Actually, to your point, Demolition, there's literally like an ambient volume slider, which is interesting to me. I'm not sure I fully appreciate exactly what it's doing, but Find that interesting. Hitching post, huh?
I could tether a horse here if I had one.
Interesting thought. It's curious to me that the window exists in that fashion. It sure felt like that was a puzzle to solve, but the solution was like, go outside and see the other side of the door.
Sir?
It's evil George Washington. Or something, I don't know. Oh, that light's off. It's extra spooky now. Don't adjust your set. It's very dark here.
I don't wish to go knocking door to door. The old man has disappeared into the darkness. I'd best turn back to the inn.
This whole scenario is like so deeply troubling. I need you to have some preservation for, or some instinct for self-preservation. Like this is, it's very bad here. Got an achievement for that. I don't know why. I don't understand. Was I supposed to like not lose him? I wasn't that far behind him. Was I supposed to like bring the candle from my room and use my one match to light it in this heavy rain? I couldn't even find my son Jason as a cat. You think they're solely to track player metrics? Well, no, like I think you misunderstand me. Like I get why like Slap would have an achievement versus like some of the other stuff for sure. But like I don't feel like I made a choice there. Like that's what makes that feel weird. Like that doesn't seem like a chapter indicator of like that's the thing that happens to everyone. But like I don't feel like I did a thing in particular that like makes him vanish into the night or whatever. Like it's possible I did, but it doesn't feel like I did. Particularly good service at this Arby's. Oh, never mind.
I should get some sleep. Finding the missing men of Bewley shall have to wait for tomorrow.
Maybe we shouldn't go looking for missing Bewley men. They seem terrible. Let's just like do a save.
Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep.
Huh. Like this, see, like this, for example, feels like a choice. If there were an achievement for, like, going to bed on the first night, where, like, staying up and presumably having a spooky thing happen to me, like, that would make sense to me. But, like, it just felt like I kind of followed, like, a linear thing of just, like, follow the guy, the way he, like, wandered off screen, and then it was like, you did it! You didn't succeed at the task, but you didn't, like, do anything wrong. I'm like, why is that an achievement? I don't know. Listen, I don't think Thomasina, like, knows what's good for her. So I guess I'm just gonna, like, stay up and wait for something bad to happen. Oh, I kind of thought that was, like, a choice in and of itself. It is the selection to keep checking around.
A lovely place to walk.
I already looked at this.
The poor thing. I don't want to take the painting with me. A colourful work depicting a bashful knight. It is signed N. Hamley. This painting shows a Rubenesque figure brushing her hair. Quite unusual to see such a sensual work in a room like this.
There was an achievement for looking at the night painting. I have questions about how the achievements work just in general.
A pixie-faced peasant boy, painted in a naive style.
That's a really poetic sentence.
A biblical scene of some kind. An angel is depicted looking longingly to the heavens. The painting depicts a rocky-edged lake. A small bronze plate states the name Lake Cubilius.
All the names in this game sound fake.
And no, Mr. Shoulder. I should get some sleep and find him tomorrow.
How can I help you?
Have you seen Arthur Tillett?
I thought he were with you.
He went to the lavatory and has not returned.
That sounds like Arthur Tillett. Don't worry, lass. He'll be back.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
I don't feel like he'll be back, to be entirely honest with you. I like the creaky floor is good.
The inn is
I like
closed.
that.
She gets.
I don't know what else I could do. I assume I can't actually go outside. Doesn't seem like there would be much for me to do at this
The inn is
point.
closed. I should get some. It's a crudely painted scene that appears to be of a biblical nature. Pulling the bell would be quite unbecoming of me. Kenneth
I guess
will
I'll
be
go
arriving.
to sleep. I don't know what else to do.
Yes,
Okay, bye.
I shall track down Mr. Shoulder tomorrow.
Will we? Is he already dead? I don't know, man. I don't know why I came to this terrible place.
Yes?
Off to bed?
Yes. I'm afraid Mr. Shoulder's let me down.
The rotter. Perhaps he will make himself known tomorrow.
I should hope so. This is turning into a waste of my time.
Ah, don't mind the locals, miss. It's just that we don't get a lot of visitors in Bewley.
It's really... I feel like it's extremely telling that the thing he inferred from me saying that is that this is a terrible place to spend time, which admittedly I agree with and is true, but like, I feel like her more obvious implication is that like, she wanted to meet this guy who she had some kind of relationship with and like hunt barrows or whatever is the proper nomenclature. And instead he's like, yeah, I mean, it sucks here, but like, cut us a break. This town is like a dumpster.
Quite.
They mean well, believe me.
I do not believe
Sure,
you.
Mr. Kemp.
Please, call me Stanley.
Sure, Mr. Kemp.
Good night, Stanley.
Sleep well, Miss Bateman.
I can't help but assume that we're gonna be like haunted by like dream visions of like something terrible happening. Now, is it implied I used my one match to like light this candle overnight? And if so, is that the thing that I did wrong to like not catch that guy? That's not good. I don't like that. Oh, it's the cat. Is that better or worse than like... God, something's wrong with that cat. Oh, it's not good. I don't like it. Oh, the animation is weird. Is that like rotoscoped or something? Man, it's just not... I just don't like it. That's just not right. Okay. Dawn of the first day. Adventus. Got the Adventus achievement. I don't know what's happening. How did we address the cat situation? Oh, that candle got wrecked. Oh, that's cute. A little animation of her, like, rubbing her eyes. That's fun.
Such horrid dreams.
Was it dreams, or is this like a super cursed town with a super cursed bathroom that has a super cursed black cat in it? I don't know what to make of that stretch.
Bolted from the inside, just as I left it last night.
Yeah, but it's like super duper cursed.
As I suspected, I must have dreamt of that wretched-looking cat. I must say I'm relieved. Right then. Let's see if I can track down the elusive Leonard Shoulder. I'm rather anxious to get to this Barrow. I also wonder what happened to Mr. Tillett.
Probably got eaten by like a cursed cat or something.
A painting of surprising quality. It portrays a rocky outcrop overlooking a vast moor.
Sounds like you've described like a land card from Magic the
Perhaps
Gathering.
a local landmark. The candle has melted. It's not much use anymore. Perhaps Mr. Kemp will replace it this evening.
I think I was supposed to take that can. Actually, wait a minute. No, I still have my one match though. Weird.
That candle didn't last long. I've stored a box.
Box within a box.
I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me.
Good morning, Miss Bateman.
Do you just live
Good
there?
day, Stanley.
Did you sleep well, Miss Bateman?
I'm gonna tell him about that cursed cat.
Not really. I have the rather queer recollection of a cat entering my room last night.
A cat, you say?
Yes, an odd-looking grey one. I must have been dreaming, as I locked the door and windows before I went to sleep. I saw a similar cat in the lavatories while searching for Mr. Tillett.
Ah, Herbert. Oh, he's a harmless thing. He comes in now and then searching for scraps.
And haunting people's dreams.
Indeed. Seeing him in the lavatories must have conjured up the strange dream.
The mind is capable of manifesting frightful things, Miss Bateman. I'm happy to report the rain of yesterday has lifted. It's a clear morning outside.
Or like clear and present danger. Wonder if there's an only lie or truth path in this game. I'm inclined to... Well, I mean, like, certainly you could just choose to always lie or tell the truth. I'm inclined to say that, like, the truth-lie thing probably exists in this game because based on the setting and the atmosphere, I feel like you're meant to decide whether people are trustworthy or not. But, like, I could be wrong about that. Which, if I am right, would imply that, like, there wouldn't necessarily be, like, an ending that is dedicated to, like, telling the truth or lying, per se.
Crisp. I've prepared a room for your assistant. What time will he be arriving today?
His train will get in around midday. Kenneth will also be bringing my excavation equipment.
I like to imagine that she's talking about, like, a front-end digger, like a big construction site shovel. I mean, it's not appropriate for the time period, but, like, that just seems funny to me.
Oh, aye. What does that entail?
Picks, shovels, buckets, lighting and such. He usually packs it in a large crate. Come to think of it, I'll need somewhere to store it.
You're welcome to use the alley behind the inn for any such bulky items.
Oh yeah, I definitely trust leaving my expensive belongings out in the alley in a town like this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, that's pretty sketch. I'm gonna... Is there, like, another option? Like, one other one?
Is it safe to do such a thing?
I can assure you the local folk are not thieves, Miss Bateman.
That's not what I...
Now, say nothing more of it.
Thank you, Stanley.
Well, at least I've lodged my complaint. That's as much as I seem to be able to do.
I'll let you get on with your day.
I'll be back with my assistant when he arrives.
So I shouldn't come back here
Miss
until
Bateman?
then? Oh.
Yes?
I've something I wish to get off my chest, as it were.
It's this vest. I don't really need to wear it if there's no one in here.
I've been
Are you
tossing
Leonard
and
Shoulder?
turning all night, Miss Bateman. I feel rotten, I really do.
What on earth are you talking about?
As you know, I like to run an honest establishment.
I don't really know you all that well at all, so I don't suppose I know that.
Well, I have not been honest with you, lass. I do know of Hobbs Barrow.
You do?
I do. Many here do. There are stories tied to that place, you know.
Why would you lie about
If
it?
I've learned anything in this life, it's that some stones are best left unturned.
But, like, if you believed that, why would you just say you didn't know about it? Wouldn't you, like, be the superstitious local and be like, oh, I wouldn't go about poking around there, lass, or whatever? Like, wouldn't you try to stop her from messing with it if you're concerned that she's gonna unearth some, like, terrible, unspeakable evil? Rather than just be like, no, that's fine, you can stay another 2 days. That's, like, 6 shillings.
Old Leonard Shoulder is someone to be wary of too. I can't tell you what to do, lass, but you'd best avoid him.
Why must I be wary of Mr. Shoulder?
The man has a certain reputation.
For what?
You've seen it already. Were he here to meet you last night?
No.
Precisely. A man not to be trusted.
He has a certain reputation. You saw it last night. Did he meet you? No. That's because he doesn't exist. What?
Why lie to me about Hobbs Barrow?
I know, lass, I know. I feel dreadful.
But why? What are these stories you speak of?
I really can't tell you more.
I don't understand your reasoning.
If you insist on visiting that place, you'll have to seek out Mr. Shoulder. He brought you here. He should be the one to tell you.
I must say, Mr. Kemp, this is all quite puzzling. I've never let local superstitions stop me in the past. I pride myself on being a woman of logic and reason. I've no time to waste on such matters.
As I say, seek out Mr. Shoulder. He can tell you more.
I just genuinely am struggling to understand the motivation of this guy. Like, I mean, I guess the original intention is, like, not to say anything to her because he wants her business because the inn is, like, not super profitable or whatever. Maybe? It's kind of cynical. But, like, I mean, if she, like, went there and, like, unsealed Rita Repulsa's space dumpster and caused, like, an invasion of Earth by, like, weird alien clay monsters, don't you think that would also be bad for business? And also, we're like, well, tell me what the superstitions are. Like, why shouldn't I mess around with it? And he's like, go get that information from the guy who specifically asked you to come here to open up the evil tomb. I'm sure that he will be very forthright with you and tell you the information you should have. Like, that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me either.
Daddy does not approve!
Daddy does not approve.
Where is Hob's Barrow?
I don't know.
Yikes forever.
I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
I now find that hard to believe.
Oh, shots fired.
The moors are vast, lass. I'd tend not to go wandering out there. A grown man could lose himself and not be seen again.
Where's that ghost
live?
Where
does Mr. Shoulder live?
I can't say for sure.
This town is the worst. I hate it here.
As I think I told you last night, he's a quiet man and keeps to himself. He only comes in here to collect his post. Leads me to believe he lives a fair distance away. Certainly not in the village itself.
Might someone around Bewley be able to help me find him?
You could ask around. As I say, lass, Bewley folk mean well.
I have seen literally none indication that that's
Don't
true.
forget that.
I shall return later.
Good day to you, lass.
Teleported. Did it make the door sound twice?
It seems I may be fighting a battle against some sort of local superstition. Is there a single barrow in England that doesn't have some ghastly tale attached to it? Hogwash. All of it. I've a few hours until Kenneth arrives. I should use this time to find Mr. Shoulder.
I wonder how closely this game tracks time. Well, map unlocked. I said map unlocked. Alright, it's not exactly a map, but I understand the function. The giant eye close-up is extremely welcome. Hello, strange man.
Hello.
Let's be polite.
My name is Thomasina, and you are?
Well, now he's not gonna trust us.
Now then, that's none of your concern, love.
I have it on good authority that Bewley folk mean well. I continue not to see any evidence of this.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
I don't know out about no Leonard Shoulder.
What can you tell me about Hob's Barrow?
Not to be found digging around in those things.
You know of local barrows, then?
Don't concern yourself.
Let's ask more about himself. He seems very forthcoming.
Forever.
What do you do around here?
Hey up, you're not scared of sticking your neb in. I look after the churchyard, dig the graves.
So the grave digger is deeming me some problematic person. Okay, that's interesting.
What can you tell me about the church?
Aye, it's a church.
Quite. What can you tell me about Bewley?
Not much around here, love. Not worth mentioning to you, like.
I see.
Quite.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Okay. I don't know if I'm articulating this correctly. I really like the voice acting that the lead woman is doing. Like, it's very, like, engaging and rich. I do feel like there are times that her responses do not match what I feel like is an appropriate tone for the situation. Like, by the end of that conversation, I don't think she should be like, well, have a nice day, because, like, that dude sucked. Like, she just, like, be at least, like, a little more curt. She doesn't have to be, like, mean to him, but it should just sort of be like, guess I'll be going.
I'd rather not go.
Not go in those horrible toilets again. Fair, that's fair. And, like, the grass moves a little bit. It's, like, weirdly ominous, despite that being, like, a super normal thing to have happen. Oh, now I'm willing to go knocking on random doors.
Nobody home.
It's this weird Christmas tree with, like, multicolored things in it. Nothing? That seems like a normal response.
The road disappears over the horizon. I see nothing but moorland.
This feels very The Dig to me, which I guess is appropriate considering that we're like a moor digger, which sounds like a rude thing to call someone.
Squeak, squeak.
Squeak, squeak. I just want there to be, like, one decent person in Bewley. Hello, child.
Hello?
Yes?
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Douglas?
It's a pleasure to meet you, Douglas.
Let me ask about that sword. Any plans for the upcoming week? Like, I want to get some productive, like, apartment tidying done with my holiday weekend day, which should indicate how good a job I do of keeping up with stuff. I mean, like, I often find that if I don't make plans for, like, a 3-day weekend, the extra day is, like, immediately slotted for some sort of, like, productive thing that I just literally don't have time or spoons for otherwise. Which is, like, why I absolutely would, like, kill to have, like, a 4-day work week. Because, like, I honestly don't think my productivity would, like, drop significantly. But, like, boy, would just, like, having a day set aside to do that, like, help, like, all the time regularly. Yeah, it's President's Day weekend. At least, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. 4 times 6-hour days would be perfect. I mean, like, I'd settle for the intermediate, like, you know, 4 times 8-hour days, and then hope that maybe we improve that. Like, that seems better. You don't get it off. I never remember what all the federal core holidays are, but I thought that was one that, like, is typical. You get an hour break now? 3 hours with an hour break? I got a half hour, and I'm grateful to have it. Frankly, these days I normally take like a 20-minute break.
That's a great sword technique you have.
Thanks, miss. Mr. Crozier's gonna make me a real one when I turn 12. I'm preparing myself to fight the lantern worm.
The pardon? Tell me about the whatever that is.
The lantern worm?
It's gonna come back and get us all.
We should leave this town. I know that this is a child and that it's probably not a real thing, but, like, so far I feel like I've been given, like, 20 reasons not to spend additional time in this town, and I have yet to be given even one reason to stay here. And, like, I get that it's, like, a horror game and that it should seem uninviting, but, like, this is one of those things, like, people get upset watching, like, slasher movies of, like, why would you, like, go in there without a weapon? It feels like that kind of thing where it's like, I feel like you have been given enough reasons to be suspicious of this place that you shouldn't just, like, stay here. You have 2 10-minute paid breaks and a 30-minute unpaid, and They used to be 15-minute paid breaks. That's, yeah. In this economy, that sounds right, but not just.
John Lambton thought he killed it at the River Ware, but my father told me it still lives. We must all be prepared.
The Lambton worm isn't real, Douglas. Father just told you that to get you out of his hair.
Look, man, the last time I heard someone say that I should be prepared, he was a villainous lion, and I don't think he was actually, like, misguiding me. I should have been prepared for that.
Not true. I saw it slithering out by the beck, like a giant eel it were. I ran home so fast I thought I would fly.
Sorry, miss. My brother has a vivid imagination.
There's quite the age gap there. I kind of assumed she was his mother.
Children often do at his age.
I'll keep training. You will all thank me when I thrust my sword deep into its fat belly.
Douglas, this lady doesn't want to hear your nonsense.
Tell me about this town, small child.
Do you like living in Bewley?
Yeah, I do. Are you from the city?
I'm from a long way away.
You must have come on the train. I love watching all the steam puff up into the sky.
Have you been on the train yourself?
No, miss. Our parents don't have the money for train tickets. Father says we have all we need here in Bewley.
Perhaps this nice lady would like to take you away with her on the train.
No, I need to stay and protect Bewley from the Lambton worm.
I'm sure you could protect some other terrible town from some imaginary monster. Tell me about Leonard Shoulder, who I assume is a friend to all children.
Do you know a man called Leonard Shoulder?
That's a funny name.
Doesn't answer my question.
Have you heard of Hob's Barrow?
What's that?
A local burial mound.
Our parents don't let us wander far from the village.
What's a burial mound?
Don't you mind about that, Douglas.
Who's Mr. Crozier?
He's a blacksmith. His forge is just over there on the other side of the square.
Just off screen, you could scroll it that way, probably.
Don't you think 12 years of age is a little young for a real sword?
I'll be a master swordsman by then.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, miss.
By when? What's the implied time passage?
Good day.
Hello, miss.
My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Betty.
Big mood, Betty.
Nice to meet you, Betty.
I want her to reply, no, it isn't.
What are you up to?
My brother is practicing his sword fighting technique. I'm to watch him until he tires himself out.
I'm tireless.
This time last month it were all about his teaspoon collection. This month it's swords.
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What do you know of Hob's Barrow?
Our parents don't like us talking to strangers, miss.
An interesting time to choose to point that out at the end of the dialogue tree for both of you.
So you...
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Everyone is so friendly here. A lovely place to live. Am I, like, actually supposed to randomly knock on doors? I feel like no, but I'm gonna try it.
I don't think anyone is home.
This looks like a store that I might actually be able to go in. Or not, or maybe not.
No one here.
It sure seems like par for the course for this town that they won't let you into the store to buy things. That feels like Bewley.
I don't think anyone is home.
Alright, give me a second. No, this isn't the menu I want. I want the to-do list. This feels a little aimless. Like, I don't mind having to ask around. It would be nice to have at least a vague sense of how I might accomplish my goals of learning basically anything about the guy who's supposed to meet me yesterday.
Good day.
Yes?
Mr. Crozier, I presume.
Aye, George Crozier, at your service.
It'd be really funny if you didn't talk to them first, if you just scrolled straight past them and walked up to this guy and still were able to say that live dialogue. Mr. Crozier, I presume. What? Why do you know that? Why did I know that? I don't know.
My name is Thomasina.
Aye. Can I help you?
Do you know a man by the name of Leonard Shoulder?
Oh, aye. Old Leonard.
Have you seen him recently?
No, not recently.
Do you know where he lives?
Why all these questions, lass?
I need to speak with him. He invited me to Bewley.
Oh, he'll turn up. I've seen him in the plough and furrow from time to time.
What is life like in this town that they're like, yeah, just stay at the inn, eventually he'll show up? That seems like a reasonable answer to this issue.
But do you know where he lives? I need to find him.
I believe he lives somewhere out on the moors. Can't tell you out more than that.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier.
See, that's how she got, like, a little annoyed with him, and I feel like this is, so far, maybe the nicest guy we've encountered in this town.
Are you a Bewley native, Mr. Crozier?
Aye. Born and bred. That's where my father's forge before mine.
How is business faring?
I do an honest trade. There'll always be horses needing shoes, and farmers needing tools.
And shoes needing horses?
You let me know if you need out made or mended. I'll do you a fair price.
Thank you, Mr. Crozier. Do you know of a local landmark named Hob's Barrow?
There's a fair many barrows found out on the moors, lass. Too many to put a name to. Not a soul in Bewley pays them any mind.
No, Demolition, don't tell him about cars. Don't spoil his dreams.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
We don't get many visitors here, outside of market days. But there's plenty of work for the village blacksmith. Where are you from, then?
I arrived yesterday on the train from London, by way of Derby.
Oh, aye. I've heard about London.
I've heard about London. This newfangled London everyone's talking about. What a strange way to put that.
What have you heard?
Plenty of factories there.
Yes, indeed. The city is always changing and moving forward.
Too busy for me, though, lass. I prefer a quieter pace. Aye.
When do market days run in Bewley?
Once or twice a month. The next one is tomorrow.
How delightful.
Unless your vice is cabbages, there'll be naught to interest a young lady.
Why do we even have market day?
I don't mind a cabbage.
Then you're in luck.
Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
I'll go to the church. Thing is, it's like the only building in the world. Can I have this? Can I steal this? I have a problem.
Excuse me, do you think anyone would mind if I borrowed this trowel?
What an insane thing to ask.
You help yourself, dear. Father Roach won't mind lending it.
I'm inclined to agree, Demolition. This place does feel like just genuinely depressing. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, it's just like a very different way of life than what I'm used to, but like, it just seems so like bleak and hopeless. And I guess that reflects in the way that everyone like behaves around here, but like, good cripes. Like, there has to be like one reasonable person in this miserable place, right?
Just be sure to put it back when you're finished.
I'm guessing that the dog barking is on the ambient soundtrack, which is a thing this game has.
Of course, thank you.
It is more blessed to give than to receive.
Really deliberate animation for picking that up. Drop it
In
low.
memory of William Ager. In memory of Romeo Hegg, dearly missed by his beloved Juliet.
These plaques. Leave. Cakes!
Hello?
Yeah, as far as I know, my current job has like never had any option for like an hour lunch break. Everyone's always had a half hour, whether we were back in the office or working from home. But yeah, it's rough. I mean, it's kind of nice to get off like a half hour earlier, but like at the same time, like it really limits what you can do, right? I feel you. Oh, I clicked out of the window again.
Good day. Would you like to buy one of these cakes, pet?
I don't have any money. Tell me about the cakes I cannot afford.
What kind of cakes do you have?
I have some lovely Bakewell puddings. The sweetest marriage of almond and jam. I can tell you're not from around here, because if you were, you would know about my Bakewell puddings. They are quite famous.
Well, they're not that famous if I don't know about them simply from not being part of this specific town.
Alas, I'm not carrying any money with me.
That's unfortunate, pet. I'm sorry, I can't give them away for free.
Blast. Now I really am feeling the folly of trying to get information about Leonard Shoulder. It seemed like a reasonable idea at the time, but I'm sure if I had 2 pence I could buy a weird jam
The
cake.
money goes to the church, you see, and one cannot shirk one's duty to the church.
I just want to be clear that I was not trying to proposition a free cake from you, lady. We're just having a dialogue
I
tree.
understand. My name is Thomasina. What's yours?
Mrs. Duplancy.
A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Duplancy.
These names are all so fake.
Likewise, pet.
Duplancy's not a real name. Get lost.
Tell me about yourself, Mrs. Duplancy.
About me? What would you possibly want to know about me?
I don't know if this means anything, but it's a little interesting to me that when you, like, have a follow-up question to ask, like, I think any male character that we've encountered so far, like, more about themselves as, like, a general background, the option is listed as himself, like, ask about him. And in her case, it listed her name, not herself.
I've been attending St. Edmund's Church my whole life. I always want to help where I can, so I sell my baked goods, and all the proceeds go to its upkeep.
Devolution says, still a bit annoyed I work an hour more than everyone every week since Fridays get out at 4, but I don't get out at 3 since I start an hour earlier. I had that problem at my old job, where, like, I worked an earlier shift than my roughly equivalent coworker who had, like, seniority. And, like, my boss, it's like a small business, and my bosses would, like, occasionally decide, like, it's a lovely spring day, like, you can leave early, but, like, they would let us both go at the same time, even though I started, like, hours earlier. It's like, well, that's, like, clearly, like, less of a good thing for me. Like, I'm not gonna complain about it to the point that I'm gonna try and, like, ruin it for both of us, but, like, it sure seems like I should somehow be compensated in some way, because that's, like, genuinely that's not fair to me in that situation. She does seem like a sweet lady. Still part of this weird town, but it is I appreciate the highlight of it, because I'm so, just being in this oppressive environment is making me so bitter towards everyone that I'm really not appreciating the fact that even though she had a weird take on freedom of cakes, that, like, she is actually being nice to us.
This place means so much to me.
What can you tell me about St. Edmund's Church?
Isn't it the finest building? It's been standing here since the 12th century. The box pews in the nave are very fine and date back to the 17th century.
They're fine.
The door is open if you'd like to worship.
Thank you, Mrs. Duplancy. Do you know a local man called Leonard Shoulder?
Yes, I know Leonard. What business do you have with him?
It's a long story, but I'm trying to find where he lives.
I'm afraid I don't know, dear.
This cursed town.
Father Roach has access to the parish register. He might be able to help you.
Oh, where's that guy?
What can you tell me about Father Roach?
He is a lovely man and an exemplary servant of the Lord.
I think that's entirely fair, Demolition. After being moved to salary, your 4 p.m. end time is a hard exit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you would do anything else.
He's been the vicar of St. Edmund's for many years.
Where can I find Father?
At this time of day, he'll be taking his exercise in
Oh, for
Hernwood,
God's sake.
to the west of the village.
No one's gonna be able to tell me where Hernwood is.
Be sure to listen out for his merry whistling. Such a jolly man.
Oh, I feel like that's gonna be super duper creepy. Hernwood.
What do you know of Hobbs Barrow?
Hobbs what?
Hobbs Barrow, a local burial mound.
The only place of burial I know about and care for is in this very churchyard.
Surprised by that?
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with...
I gotta steal some money so I can buy one of this lady's cakes. Yeah, I could, like, earn it or something, but, like, I hate this place, so I want to steal some money and buy a cake from the church. Is that wrong?
It's locked.
I was hoping to find another cursed toilet with outdoor access as part of the church. God. Okay. Oh, hang on. Oh no. Maybe I'm glad I didn't buy one of those cakes. Buddy? You, okay.
Very sorry.
What's happening in this game?
Oh, the shame. This malaise will not pass. Oh, the nausea. I need your help, young lady.
Tell me what you need.
Let the blood from my arm.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Got me. I beg you.
Dude, this town sucks. I mean, I hope he's on the level, but, like, boy, does that seem, like, really unsettling. I don't even, like, have anything that's good for that, right? I use a rusty trowel. Let me get his glasses.
Ouch! The broken lens is extremely sharp.
Oh, okay. I'll use his broken glasses to cut his arm. Normal. Why is that not in my inventory? Oh, I see. Oh, no, hold on. No,
Are you sure this is the only way, Father?
I beg you. It's the only cure for this torturous malady.
Give me a second. Use glove. Use strange gentleman's glove.
Perhaps I shouldn't risk soiling this glove until I find its owner.
Man, she's one of the weirdest adventure game protagonists I can recall. She just makes these arbitrary decisions about, like, what our goals are with the objects in our inventory. Like, normally in an adventure game, if you pick something up, you have deemed that it is your belongings, that, like, you can do whatever you please with it. And, like, here she's like, well, obviously I'm going to return this glove to some stranger. I'm like, no, I want to pick up the glasses and cut the priest, like a normal adult would do. Right?
The vicar's spectacles lie broken on the forest floor. I don't wish to look too closely. The trusty trowel. This one has seen better days.
Can I scoop up the glasses? Can I scoop up the vomit?
I shan't be dragging any of my possessions through that mess.
None of them? I mean, I guess I gotta go find, like, a knife or something. Like, I can't...
The trowel's blade is dull and rusted. I need something that will provide a cleaner cut.
It's, like, weird to leave him here. But I don't know what else I can do.
Don't leave.
Okay. Maybe the handkerchief can do the thing I wanted the gloves to do?
This handkerchief was a gift from my mother. I hope she will understand.
I mean, it's like dirt. I mean, I know that, like, laundry's, like, a lot harder back then, whatever, but, like, she acts like anything touching the ground is, like, ruined forever or something.
This should work.
Dude, like, whoever did the animation for her bending down to pick something up, like, had too much fun with it, I think. I like that I don't have the spectacles as an inventory item. I have, like, a shard of glass with which to harm the priest.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yes, it will cure me of my ills.
I shall do as you ask, Father.
I'll be super mad if this does that, like, weird thing from Time Force where, like, it exposes your mutant DNA and you become a giant monster rampaging through downtown Bewley. Actually, on second thought, if you rampage through Bewley and destroy it, I think I'm okay with this course of action. Horrible night to have a curse. We got an achievement for that, even though it felt like that wasn't optional. Where are my spectacles? He asks reasonably. How is he able to, like, wear those?
For my spare pair.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
God bless you. I already feel quite better.
I'm glad, Father.
I'm troubled by the fact that there's a hot spot for the vomit.
The rapid healing properties of bloodletting cannot be overstated.
They sure can, though.
I'm Frederick Roach, vicar of St. Edmund's Church.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Thomasina Bateman. It's a pleasure to meet you.
See, again, with the lady, her name was a stand-in for this. All the guys seemed to ask about himself. Hey, Haggis, welcome to the stream. We're trying to excavate Hob's Barrow, but unfortunately this town near Hob's Barrow, Bewley, is, like, super terrible, and no one will help us do anything. So we've accomplished very little, but it's super atmospheric here. I'm just pretty sure something bad's gonna happen. How are you doing? You doing better now that I cut you, priest?
Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
What ails you, Father Roach?
I just ate a rotten berry, that's all.
That doesn't sound right.
I like to pick blackberries for my supper, you see. They are quite delicious, as long as you mind the bramble. My apologies again. I wish we had met in different circumstances.
I wish the game would let me scoop up a trowel full of your puke, but, like, you know, that makes fools of us all.
Are you from Bewley originally?
I was born in our very own St. Edmund's. It's quite the story.
I don't believe you. Oh, hang on. Get that again.
Do tell.
My mother was sheltering there as a frightful tempest raged, and lo, did her waters break right there and then in that pew.
One could say that you were born into your role, Father.
Indeed. When my mother told me the story as a young boy, I knew that this was my calling.
Tell me about Leonard Shoulder.
I'm looking for Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, yes? Are you a relative?
No, it's a long story, but he invited me to Bewley.
It's interesting that I no longer have the option to, like, lie to every person about why I came here. At a certain... I guess, like, because someone in the town knows our business, like, we've given up on trying to conceal that fact or something. Weird.
And he didn't tell you his address?
Nah, he sure didn't. He sucks, just like everyone else in this town. I don't even feel like I clicked off on that one.
He was to meet me last night at the Plough and Furrow, but he never came.
It is like a super minor thing to care at all about, but I kind of just wish I could see my mouse cursor when dialogue is on the screen just to know that I am in the window. It's, like, super small. I get why you don't necessarily do it, but I would like that. It would make my life better.
I see. Well, let me welcome you to Bewley on his behalf.
Thank you, Father. Do you know where Mr. Shoulder lives?
Let me think. It's been many moons since I've paid him a visit.
Perhaps you could allow me to take a look at the parish register.
No need. I remember it now. A fair hike across the moors.
Could you please give me directions?
I'll take you there myself. It's the least I can do after you aided me so.
Capital. Thank you.
Capital.
Just let me know when you're ready to pay him a visit. I'll be resting here for the time being.
Fair enough, I guess. Should I ask the priest about the super cursed burial mound? There's Officer Dooley and Detective McQueen this time. Doing something a lot less terrible than trying to find a guy who stood us up to, like, bust into, like, a cursed tomb. By, like, talking to all the inhabitants of, like, the worst town I've ever seen in my life.
What can you tell me about Bewley?
It's a quiet town. The railway line, which I presume you arrived by, is the only news of note we've had here for years.
I've heard the new station has received a mixed reaction.
I've heard many a debate, it's true, but my role is not to adjudicate on that matter. I'm very busy in my own work, you see.
Foraging for food and then puking it up in the woods.
What do you know of Hob's Barrow?
I can't say I've heard of it.
It's supposedly a famous local landmark.
I'm afraid I know nothing about it.
Doesn't look like anything to me. St. Edmunds is a fine building. It's totally decent.
St. Edmunds is a fine building.
I also hate it when I have to do a breaking and entering on my own. Luckily, the priest is going to come with us when we have to visit that guy Haggis, so surely he'll help.
Thank you for saying so. It's hard work keeping her in good shape, but our congregation is always willing to lend a hand in the Lord's name.
Yeah, good luck, Demolition. I know you've been looking for a way out for a while. Jeff's not treating you super well, but hopefully something better on the horizon.
What is it like being the vicar here?
Every day is a blessing, my child. I have a great love for our parish, and the Lord looks after us.
What about your congregation?
Numbers have fallen over the years, I must say. But those that remain are faithful and full of his spirit.
I'm just gonna go to Mr. Shoulder's house, because, like, I don't know what else to do, man.
I'm ready to go to Mr. Shoulder's house.
Excellent. I feel the fresh air will do me well. Follow me.
I really badly want this location added to my map, because I'm sick of looking for it. Presumably the other way down the road? Oh, no. We're going back the way of the church. It's like that little door that we passed by before. It's like, he lives in the church and you didn't think to tell me that?
Good morning, Father.
I'm confused as to what is happening right now. I really thought we were just gonna, like, fade to black and show up at his house.
Good morning, Mrs. Duplancy. Mrs. Duplancy, this is Thomasina Bateman, a visitor to our parish.
We've already had the pleasure of meeting, Father.
I appreciate that the game keeps track of these things, although in this specific case, I don't know if it would have been possible to find the priest without talking to her first. Maybe. I don't know.
Excellent. Ms. Bateman, don't hesitate to try one of Mrs. Duplancy's wonderful cakes.
Regrettably, I'm too poor because I bought a guy a drink trying to accomplish the same task we're doing now.
I've heard about her famous Bakewell puddings.
I'll be here all day, young lady. But remember, once they're gone, they're gone. Those little whelps have already gobbled up all the gingerbread.
You are doing God's work, Mrs. Duplancy.
He smiles upon us, Father.
Been walking a while, so you need a tea break. Yeah, that's fair, Haggis. That's probably what we're doing.
Miss Bateman, if you'd like to follow me.
I mean, I wanted to before, and we stopped to talk to Miss Duplancy for some reason. Can't stop thinking about those cakes. I'd swim through a lake full of water for those cakes.
Let's talk of graves, of worms, and epitaphs.
Hey, my guy, you're supposed to be doing me a favor, but you take every opportunity to not show me the house of this guy. It's, like, really important that I talk to him, in the sense that it's the only reason I came here. I don't know what's happening.
Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow on the bosom of the earth.
This town is like the worst. Tell me, my child, have you ever heard of the Philadelphia experiment? Why not picture an egg?
Let's choose executors and talk of wills.
It's very well played, Haggis. I appreciate it. Did you like my Discord update for Tokiko's birthday? I was gonna try and do something more elaborate, but I'm, like, super depressed and, like, didn't pull that off at all.
Shakespeare?
Quite. Which play?
Oh, dude, I don't know or care. I've just been clicking mindlessly through the dialogue. Anyone? I don't... It's probably like an achievement for like recognizing Shakespeare. But like this game, the pace of this game is what I would generously describe as extremely deliberate, which I don't hate in principle, but there is something a little rough about. He said, you know, like let's talk of graves and worms and something and make ash of our paper. I don't know. It didn't seem immediately familiar. I'm like not extremely well versed in Shakespeare, to be honest with you. Hamlet does have a lot of death talk. I don't know.
Hamlet?
Magnificent guess, Miss Bateman, but I'm afraid that passage is from Richard II.
Yeah, it's like the only way I would have guessed that is by just guessing the one I knew the least about.
Studying the work of the bard is one of my favorite pastimes. Follow me.
God, there's it's plot critical. Haggis, I've been so struggling to like understand what kind of game this is. As you can see, it's weird. So like when stuff like that comes up, I'm like, I don't know how important this is. I'm panicking.
The moors extend as far as the mortal eye can see.
Listen, dude, could you like take me to Shoulder's house?
Beautiful, is it not?
Yeah, it's like great, but like I bet Leonard Shoulder would like really appreciate the view. Could you show me where he lives? There's something a little bit insane to me about the fact that none of these options are like, I kind of don't care, please take me to Leonard Shoulder. Like, I feel like is not necessarily the option I would literally choose, but I feel like this option should be here. Exactly, Haggis. I appreciate the tour, but if I don't touch Lenny's shoulder in the next 2 seconds, I swan to John. For real. I mean, honestly, it's super duper spooky here, but like, I'm gonna play nice with this man because I need him to show me Leonard's shoulder. Incidentally, Haggis, it is my feeling that the name of every single character in this game is extremely fictional, in the sense that I can't imagine a person having any one of these names.
Indeed. The moors are beautiful.
The beauty of God's creation is that it takes so many forms.
That's so great. You know what form I would love to see is Leonard's shoulder.
How can one take in such a view and not have faith? Some look at these moors and think this a godless land. But I tell you, he is found in all domains.
Even in Bajukaba?
The Lord's work is all about us. Tell me, Miss Bateman.
Oh, please don't.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, no. I mean, it's true that this is not something I would expect this character to give us an option for. She's like, I am a woman who believes in reason and not superstition. So, like, yeah, the way this is presented seems reasonable enough. This is interesting. There's been this through line of just, like, literally choosing whether or not to lie to people. And I have no, again, like, I'm just not really sure what kind of game this is, in the sense, like, I don't know what kind of repercussions I expect for this. There's been some evidence that the game, like, remembers, like, little things, like the sequence of people you talk to suggest, like, oh, I already talked to Miss Plaskman or whatever. I cannot remember her name. It's impossible. It does feel like this is a situation where, like, socially I would want to lie. I mean, like, I don't see what the benefit of... Like, I don't want to start a fight with this guy. Like, even setting aside the fact that I desperately need him to show me where Leonard Shoulder lives. Like, what good would come from me being like, nah, I don't believe in God? Like, what would that... Like... What could that possibly accomplish for me? Other than, like, a strict adherence to, like, honesty, I don't know what that would do for me. So I'm just gonna be like, yes, and please take me to Leonard Shoulder. No more detours.
Yes.
Very convincing.
I sensed a hesitation there.
No, I mean, you heard how super sincere that was.
No, I believe in...
I definitely believe in, like, God or whatever.
No, I will not bring the fire and brimstone upon you for speaking your truth.
See, I don't get it. This is, like, the second of, like, 4 times that we've had an option like that. And, like, 2 of them, if I try to, like, lie to be polite, they're like, I know you're lying. Tell me the truth. Does it matter? Does it matter at all if I make these choices? Again, I just don't understand. Yeah, right, Demolition? Like, everyone's just, like, a human lie detector. If there was, like, one character like that who always saw through it, like, okay, like, that's kind of, like, an interesting character trait, maybe? Even though it's, like, a little weirdly supernatural. But, like, the fact that it's, like, come up more than once already feels weird to me. Although, in fairness, the line delivery was extremely unconvincing, but, like, I didn't have any agency over that.
Well, I was brought up Anglican. The church was an important part of my early life, Father Roach. But what happened to my father eventually made me question things.
If you don't mind me asking, my child, what happened to your father?
Here's where I want the story to go completely off the rails, and her to simply be like, he became a lycanthrope. He's a werewolf, Father.
He had an accident when I was very young.
He soiled himself and never recovered.
Daddy does not approve!
Oh, hang on. We're having a flashback. Oh, we're very close to our eyes again.
Come along now,
oh, it's
Thomasina.
Hang on. Oh, is this... So this is where we started the game, and the transition from that scene to the following one was very confusing to me. So I guess, is this like the hospital where the father is staying? I guess that makes sense because the guy who greeted us there was like familiar with us and mentioned something about a nurse. So this must be like, maybe not immediately after the accident, but shortly after?
Let's get out of the rain.
Okay. Why is it always raining at this cursed hospital? Why are all the locations in this world cursed? Why is the world so evil in this game?
Remember what I told you, all right? Be a good girl. People are unwell here. They don't want to hear you running about making noise. Understood?
Yes, Mother.
Good. And don't annoy the nurses.
I can't make any promises there. I'm pretty naturally annoying.
I promise I won't.
Good. Now, let's see your father.
You see him? You see Swiper the Fox? What are we doing?
Daddy, wake up!
Awesome. Do I have an inventory? Nah. I don't know why. I was kind of expecting there to be some cheeky secret inventory item.
Mummy? Mummy?
Good evening, Mr. Bateman. Hello, little one.
She sounds really friendly, but she sure looks like Skeletor, huh?
You must be Thomasina?
Yeah, right, Eggs. I mean, like, if it weren't for the fact that, like, we already had a conversation with someone where our character implied that he is, like, currently in the hospital, like, that would definitely be my interpretation of this so far as well. It's like, what happened to your father? He died. It was sad. It's like, why do we have a flashback for that? I feel like you could have just said.
Yes?
My name is Nurse Blaketon. I just need to talk to your mummy for a little bit. I'm sorry to disturb you, Mrs. Bateman. Mrs. Bateman?
Can't you see I'm
Will he
crying?
ever talk again, Nurse Blaketon?
The doctor is uncertain, Mrs. Bateman.
Hey, I gotta tell you, you're doing very little to actually inform me of, like, what on earth happened here. Not nothing, but, like, very little.
There is the possibility that Mr. Bateman won't regain any movement at all. But we will do our utmost to look after Mr. Bateman here at Ticehurst, ma'am. He will have a nurse by his side at all times. I can assure you.
Aight. So this is just the thing? This is like a convention, is we'll see her eyes really close?
What sort of god would allow this fate to befall such a kind and honest man?
I'm sorry to hear this. God moves in mysterious ways, but he loves us all.
I will say I appreciate the fact, like, it would be really easy to just have this character who's, like, obviously, like, into science on some level, just be like, you know, like, there's no, like, empirical evidence for God, so I don't believe in him, and that just be that. It is more interesting to have some context, and makes this conversation more interesting, although, granted, at the same time, please just show me Leonard's house! For the love of God!
Come along now.
The music here sounds like Salad Fingers.
Hello.
Oh, hi. It's like a weird little druid woman. That's
She scampered off
horrifying.
in a hurry. Who was that?
Some primitive folk make their home out on the moors.
I really wanted his response to be, who was who? It's just like, we see this, like, little girl, just like a druid, just like run off. And we're like, oh, like, that's strange. And he's like, what? What is strange? I saw nothing. Like,
I suggest you keep your wits about you when you are exploring, and don't stray too far from Bewley.
Yeah, like, that would be a really compelling thing to say if Bewley wasn't, like, a place I immediately want to escape from.
I see. How much farther to Mr. Shoulder's house?
Still quite a walk, I'm afraid.
I don't know if you've noticed, we've only made it 4 screens, and it's implied that they're all very close together.
But we'll get to him soon enough. Now then, take a look at this.
What now? What now, you extremely strange man?
Legend has it that this cairn has stood here for over 1,000 years.
How remarkable.
The Devil's Toe.
I beg your pardon?
That's what it's called. The Devil's Toe.
Oh, I see.
Come now. Onward.
I guess this part of me was very concerned we were gonna start a Professor Layton puzzle. Dude, I still, like, listen, I know that this is, like, in theory, an adventure game.
Walked across that vast, featureless landscape.
I have no idea what kind of game this is. I would not have been completely floored, I think, if we just had a Professor Layton puzzle just then. It's certainly some amount confused, but I think I would have been like, yeah, this might as well happen at this point.
All the while, Father Roach was whistling away merrily.
I do not know why these, like, internal monologue black screen segments have the dialogue considerably louder than the other dialogue. It's kind of hard to deal with that.
Just as I had begun to wonder if we were hopelessly lost, a building emerged from the mist.
So I'm gonna go ahead and headcanon that the reason why the priest stopped every, like, 5 feet is to try and illustrate to me, the player, that journey was so long. Like, the journey across those screens in particular wasn't a huge distance. But, like, I think it's meant to imply that we stopped along the way many times because it took so long to get to this idiot's house. Katie says, I'm upset. Every time we play in a D&D session, at least a week in advance, one of 2 people always flake at last minute. I mean, like, unfortunately, that's just what, like, D&D is like. I mean, it doesn't make it better, but, like, I think that's, like, mostly everyone's experience trying to plan a game of D&D. I mean, that's the joke that, like, everyone was making on the internet when they, like, delayed the release of the Dungeons & Dragons movie, was like, an authentic D&D experience.
Mr. Shoulder's cottage.
God be praised. I think we made it. Ambient chicken noises. These chicken noises are, like, just enough wrong that they're unsettling.
Unless my memory fails me completely, this is Mr. Leonard Shoulder's house.
I gotta tell you that, like, after all the effort that is implied Correct. Also, Haggis, since you weren't here at the very start of the stream, that's more apt than you know, because the start screen has basically a new, like, a Neo scrawl in it. Some, like, weird, like, spooky voice that plays over, like, the menu music. But I gotta tell you, after all the effort it's implied that we, like, took to get here, for him to be like, I'm, like, pretty sure this is where he lives, is like, oh, man, I really hate it in Bewley. Like, this place sucks the maximum.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
Now. No need to thank me after your providential assistance today.
I, like, made you bleed. I don't even know if I should take credit for that, Father.
However, I have something to ask you.
Yes?
Please don't tell Mrs. Duplancy about my little scene in the woods.
I maintain he threw up because he ate a weird cake. Or maybe he ate, like, all our cakes and he wasn't supposed to.
She will only fret. The poor dear woman has enough on her mind as it is.
I shan't mention it.
That's rough, Arcadius. Like, having awareness that is coming and still not being able to, like, make them show up when you were looking forward to the session. I am sorry that happened.
Thank you. You'd better see if Mr. Shoulder is in.
I had better. Please leave. Oh yeah, also this game has, like, quick save and quick load. I haven't had to use it yet, but it troubles me.
A carved stone has been affixed to the door. I think it depicts a crescent moon. It's bolted onto the door itself. I can't remove it.
I was really just trying to get you to knock. I
Father,
wasn't...
what do you make of this?
A peculiar adornment. I've not seen any like this in Bewley, though it does remind me of a passage by the bard himself.
Oh, for God's sake.
It is the very era of the moon. She comes nearer Earth than she was wont.
This really is the dawn of the first day, huh? It feels like we're describing the plot of Majora's Mask.
It makes men mad.
Yeah, I'm pretty mad about everything going on, for sure. I know that's not what you meant, and I don't really care. God, I don't know, man. Like, these aren't even, like, the greatest hits of Shakespeare. I don't know him that well. There's probably an achievement for knowing this, but, like, I'm super stupid. I'm just gonna lean on Haggis for this. I know we got the last one wrong. I don't care. It just saves me the trouble of having to make a decision.
Othello?
Precisely, Miss Bateman.
Got it, Haggis. 50%.
Out of 2, Miss Bateman.
God, how many of them are there? He literally keeps track. Oh, now I can knock on the door.
Mr. Shoulder? Is Thomasina Bateman here? I'm here in Bewley as discussed.
This whole scenario is so terrible.
Maybe try again. His hearing probably isn't the best at his age.
Like, break into his house.
Here, chuk chuk chuk.
Don't encourage them.
Why?
Care to hold one, Father Roach?
Am I hallucinating now? I've played a lot of adventure games and I wasn't, like, mentally or emotionally prepared for clicking on the chicken for her to just pick it up and offer the other man to, like, hold the chicken. That just wasn't the thing. I figured she'd be like, I'm not gonna pick up a chicken. Am I a savage? Instead, she just picks up the chicken and is like, hey, Father, want to hold my chicken? And I'm like, dude, I do not need a map to get to Bone Town, but I need this priest to leave. Hey, Angela, how's it going? Let's sort that VIP situation out, huh? Let's see. I need at... Oh, I need to... That's right. I have to do this in the other order of operations. Oh, no, he's... Okay. How to... I don't know. Castle Arg is a particularly difficult one to un-VIP if he's not here, because I don't know how many R's are in it. And I don't think I see reference here in the activity log. Yes, I've made this as difficult for myself as possible, haven't I? Please give to Alcadius. You know what? I think I can do this the easy way, right? Yeah. Did I seriously spell that right? Did that work? It might have worked. What riveting content. You can get VIP. Look, you're VIP right now. By the time you asked, you already were. Isn't that exciting? Hey, you want to hold my chicken? Anyone want to hold this chicken for me?
Put that thing down, would you?
You're no fun.
I'm still holding it. I kind of wish that dialogue had been more specific, because I think I would have been really into, like, will you hold my chicken, father? As, like a soundboard thing. Like, I don't know what that's for, but, like, yeah, why
He
not?
looks much too unruly to be picked up.
That seems colorist? I guess hen versus male hen. You know what I mean. Hey, wait just 1 minute here. If this man has one glove, then he's the spooky fellow who ran off in the middle of the night, isn't he?
That glove looks familiar. I wonder if it matches the glove I found behind the plough and furrow.
I mean, also, we're staying at the plough and furrow. Listen, everything in this game sounds made up and genuinely baffling.
The gloves are a pair. Does this mean Mr. Shoulder was in the alley last night? Why didn't he come inside to see me? Mr. Shoulder must have dropped the matching glove last night. What was he doing in the alley?
I'm gonna
Rather
see if
rude
I
of him
can
not
get
to
into
come
his
inside and
pants.
see me.
It is rather rude. Let me get in his pants.
The trousers feel damp.
I feel like this game is making fun of me in some way I am just incapable of articulating.
Freshly hung or still wet from last night's rain? Slightly damp.
I have a similar one myself. So very warm.
I've no desire to lug a block of wood about the countryside.
Guess I'll try knocking on the door again. Nothing is easy in this game.
Mr. Shoulder, you home?
She might get wet down there. Where's... Yeah, put it on the main screen because I'm a lunatic.
Get wet down there.
I mean, if you put those trousers on, it feels like a very real concern. I don't know what to make of this game. This game is like...
It appears Mr. Shoulder is not at home.
Playing this game feels a little bit like having, like, a really long dissociative episode. Like, you start to question reality. Which, like, maybe is intentional, but, like, I don't know what's going on.
Curses.
Curses indeed.
Perhaps you could try the handle.
It's locked.
I like that he suggests, like, breaking into the guy's house. Oh, I can ask him, like, so many questions.
What is your favourite of Shakespeare's works?
A very difficult question, Miss Bateman. But one I can answer, nonetheless. I am awfully fond of Cymbeline.
I gotta be honest with you. Like, I'm not super well-read. And as I stated before, I'm no Shakespeare expert. I don't think I've ever even heard of this.
An unusual choice.
All gold and silver rather turn to dirt. Wouldn't you agree?
This is a thing that, like, a friend of mine does. Which is, like, when she, like, sees, like, a movie with, like, a funny line in it or something. Like, she has this way of, like, describing it to me without, like, any context. So that, like, I just don't understand its significance to the conversation that we're having. He's just like cites like a random like half line of Shakespeare. He's like, eh? Eh?
A fine quote. You mentioned that Mrs. Duplancy is worried about something at the moment.
It is not my place to say. Mrs. Duplancy will tell you in good time, if she deems it fit to do so.
He says, isn't that the one about the girl who's a finger tall? Honest to God, I don't know if you're joking. Is that Thumbelina? I don't know. Thumbelina? Is that a real thing? None of this means anything to me.
Do you know anything else about the Devil's Toe?
Not really. I do recall it toppling over when I was a child. A few lads from Bewley rebuilt it to the best of their memories.
The devil mustn't have been happy.
Come now, my child. Do not joke about such matters.
How do you know the devil's the one who knocked over his own toe?
Do you know that young girl we saw?
No, but I've seen her sneaking around the churchyard. The poor thing is feral. She takes off at the slightest stirring. We will bring the Lord to her. Good time.
Perhaps she has her own beliefs. You said there were others like her.
Primitive folk, yes. Avoid the moors in hours of darkness and don't wander too far. I wouldn't entrust a young woman in their company.
I do like her non-committal, like,
What more can you tell me of these primitive folk?
Godless people, Miss Bateman. Don't concern yourself with them. They live out there on the very edges of this land. If you don't wander too far, you shouldn't cross their path.
What do you make of Mr. Shoulder's residence?
A sturdy construction, I'm in no doubt.
if only there was like a big bad wolf to help out.
The winds blow a gale out here, not to mention the pelting rain.
At least he must have plenty of eggs to eat.
Awful creatures, those hens.
Why you hate hens so much?
Why don't you like hens, Father?
I know I must love all of God's creatures, but they make such an unholy ruckus, and their talons claw at my boots.
But they mean no harm, and they provide eggs.
The dialogue in this game is so truly insane.
I cannot abide hen's eggs. They smell of sulfur when rotten.
I mean, lots of things smell bad when rotten. Don't let that happen. Just like don't log into the wrong website and you're fine. Sorry, it's a deep cut reference to yesterday's Murder by Numbers. Actually, they rebuilt it that way on purpose. The devil is in the details. Okay, got him. Is there a Mrs. Shoulder?
Is there a Mrs. Shoulder?
No. I believe Mr. Shoulder has led a life of celibacy.
Was that voluntary?
What else do you know about Mr. Shoulder?
A reclusive man. I must say I know very little about him.
Does he attend services at St. Edmund's?
Not regularly, if at all these days.
Perhaps he feels closer to God out here on the moors. What do you make of Mr. Shoulder's residence?
A sturdy construction. The winds blow a gale.
At least he...
Awful.
Thank you for your time.
Lord be with you.
Did I click that a second time, or did it just, like, automatically launch that? It's kind of on autopilot at a certain point there, but, like, he said that thing about the house's construction twice, and I feel like I asked once.
No sign of life?
None. The window is nice and clean. The dwelling is by no means abandoned.
Perhaps he's gone for a stroll.
Possibly.
I'd suggest you call back later, my child. I myself must make my way back home. I have some matters to attend to at the church.
I don't understand this game at all.
Shall I accompany you back to Bewley?
I guess I'm gonna look around. I mean, I came all this way.
No, you go ahead, Father. Thank you.
As you wish. Farewell, Miss Bateman. I hope Mr. Shoulder finds his way to you.
Thank you for your help, Father Roach.
My pleasure. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
That one's Romeo and Juliet, isn't it? Because, like, he's, like, obsessed with her after talking, and they don't want to part? I like the option enough Shakespeare. Well, I'm pretty sure I can't get an achievement for goofing the first one, most likely, but I was, like, not gonna get that one. I don't know if I could imagine a more depressing existence than this thatch roof hut on the English moors with 3 chickens. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough out here for like a Barrow digger. I think she had like a fancier name for herself. I can't remember what it was.
Romeo and Juliet.
Correct. That I shall say good night till it be morrow. Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Well, Mr. Shoulder, you've brought me to Bewley, and now you're nowhere to be found.
Could be worse. We could have 2 chickens. I think that's a matter of perspective, Demolition. I think to some people, 4 chickens would be worse. Although, strictly speaking, one of them is Rooster. Antiquarian is what it says on the Steam page. Nah, I've seen antiquarians. They hang out in, like, the darkest of dungeons. They let you, like, stack weird antiquities for more gold when you get back to town. She's definitely something else. She doesn't have that weird, spooky occult lantern.
A carved stone. I think it... It's... That is not coming off.
For a second there, I really thought it was going to let me do that, and I was genuinely going to be surprised again.
I'm not sure what that would achieve.
Can I take his pants now?
The trousers freshly hung.
No, it's just implied that I keep touching his pants. What? Hey, game, what do you think is on my to-do list? The game suggests this since I can't find this idiot that I just go find the cursed tomb on my own.
He looks much...
I mean, maybe there's like something I can acquire back at town unless we break into this guy's house, but like, good grief.
As I trudged back to Bewley across those cold moors, I made a new resolution. I would find Hob's Barrow myself, with or without Mr. Shoulder. The train! That must be Kenneth.
No, I think Kenneth's a person. Not a train. My dad's not a cell phone.
Margaret's Lookout. I wonder who Margaret is, or was.
Or will be. I wanted to look at that bird, but it was too fast. Can't even try to look at that bird.
This appears to be a recently dug, unmarked grave.
As I play adventure games, my first thought is to try and dig this up with my hand trowel. Just barely out of sight of that sweet old woman selling cakes.
I may be a barrow digger, but I am no grave robber.
I find myself disappointed yet again. I don't know what I wanted to happen, but I feel like the game should have let me do that. That's right, I remember how to navigate to the train station, although it is occurring to me that I could just use the map. It's so spooky here. Everything is so bad. Oh, for the sake of God. Like, look at this. It's the stupid
Kenneth?
drunkard guy. Albert Higginbottoms or whatever. I don't remember his name.
He was supposed to wait for me at the station.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. I mean, there are relatively few female characters in this game so far, but boy have all the men been just awful about everything, basically. Priest is okay, but it's pretty sketchy to just throw up and then ask a woman to cut your arm open.
Mr. Tillett, where did you go last night?
Have we met?
Last night at the Plough and Furrow.
Oh, Miss Bateman.
My God.
I were blind drunk last night and woke up with a stinking headache.
You know, that's kind of a fair point, Haggis, because I'm in the same boat with you. Like, pretty straight-edge lifestyle, no drugs or drinking, and, like, don't really get why people are into it, but, like, if you're, like, born in a place like this, and it is possible to, like, be of a caste that you cannot buy a train ticket to leave, you're like, yeah, I don't know what else you would do. Go outside and listen to the ominous winds of the moors? Like, it's horrible here. It's like one of the worst places I've, like, ever seen depicted that isn't, like, straight up, like, a murder zone, like some desolate world in Magic the Gathering or something.
You still smell like a brewery.
Sorry.
You went to use the lavatory and never came back, Mr. Tillett. I searched everywhere for you.
I think I remember you bought me a drink. Then it's all a blur. I woke up on my bed this morning with my wife sour at me for waking her at some ungodly hour.
I'm looking for my assistant, Kenneth.
Oh, aye?
His train has arrived.
Not a single soul disembarked the last train, Miss Bateman.
Oh my god, this game is so upsetting.
Impossible. About last night.
What were you gonna tell me about Shoulder Man?
What were you going to tell me about Leonard Shoulder?
Who?
This guy is horrible. He's so bad.
Leonard Shoulder. You told me you knew him, and promised to tell me more if I bought you a drink, which I did. So what were you going to tell me?
I don't really know the old bugger.
I think, do I get a choice to slap him
But
again?
you said you did.
Oh, aye. No, I know naught about him. No, naught about Leonard Shoulder.
Why is this an option? I mean, here's the thing, like, even if he's telling the truth, he's still scum, and yeah, I want to use, like, trowel on him, but only because I don't have knife yet. I really gotta get, like, a knife in my inventory in this miserable place. I mean, I imagine that Kenneth was going to bring me a knife in that box I'm supposed to store securely outside in an alley where it's, like, definitely not gonna be secure at all. But, like, I frankly don't care if you're telling the truth. You better tell me something about this guy, or I'm going to be very cross.
You're hiding something, Mr. Tillett. I don't believe you.
I say a lot of things when I've got the drink in me. I probably just wanted you to buy me an ale.
A likely story.
Look, what would I gain from lying to you? I just wanted another drink.
Even if that's the case, it doesn't explain your disappearance.
I don't remember out.
About last... You really don't remember where you went last night?
As I say, it's all a blur. I remember needing a piss, then nothing. Well, you must have missed me when I came out.
Nah. You, like, planked up the door behind you so I wouldn't follow you the way you went.
I did not. I even went to the gents' toilets to find you.
Oh, aye. A sight for sore eyes.
It was. I checked everywhere, and you were nowhere to be found. The back door leading to the alleyway was blocked from the outside.
Oh, aye?
Yes. You must have exited through that door, Mr. Tillett.
But you just said it were blocked.
There must be an explanation.
I'm gonna do a murder.
Drawn a blank.
Why was the door blocked? Did you block it?
I told you I don't remember. I've naught to say, 'cause I remember naught.
I found Mr. Shoulder's house, but he wasn't home.
Don't worry. You'll find him.
So, you work here?
Aye. Bewley Station Master at your service. Would you like to buy a ticket?
Not just yet, thank you. I understand that some of the locals are not too happy about this new station.
Aye. I'd go as far as saying the whole village.
How long has the station been open for?
About 3 months. We're on the Midland Railway line. This employment's been a saviour for me.
What did you do before then? Day drink?
If I weren't stood here, I'd be drinking my life away at the pub right now. It's worth the occasional withering look from Cyril and the rest of them.
What does a station master do?
A bit of this and a bit of that. I don't wish to bore you with such things.
As you wish.
My responsibilities here keep me on the straight and narrow, I'll tell you that much.
False.
Since a duty can do wonders for a lost soul.
Indeed. This must be a rather lonesome post to occupy.
I mean, it's no more or less lonely than just standing outside in this bleak, desolate wasteland.
Trains pass through here more regularly than you might think, lass.
Was that not the midday train from London by way of...
Aye, it were. Mr. Price were here, unloaded a few crates.
But no Kenneth.
Not a soul.
We know Mr. Price?
Hold on. One of them crates had your name on it, Miss Bateman.
So Kenneth sent our tools but didn't show up?
A great big one it were, with...
A red ribbon.
Aye.
What is Kenneth playing at, sending my equipment but not himself? Curses.
I do like that she just mutters curses to herself.
How's your headache faring?
It feels like a steam engine is driving full pelt in a circle around me skull.
Be sure to drink plenty of water, Mr. Tillett.
Aye, aye. I'll survive.
Curses.
Where is my crate now?
Mr. Price took away all the crates on his cart.
Who?
Mr. Price. He's the postmaster.
Where can I find Mr. Price?
He lives above the storeroom, just north of the plough and furrow.
It's north of it?
You'll see it. There's a Royal Mail plaque on the wall.
Thank you. Where can I...
He lives... You'll see.
I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow.
It's why Leonard Shoulder invited me to Bewley. He thought I might like to excavate it.
Oh, aye. I heard about a Hobbs Barrow somewhere out there. There's some old stories around it.
What stories?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
I hate this man. I really dislike this guy. And that is saying something compared to the rest of this miserable, forsaken town.
Mr. Tillett, please. This is important.
I'm awfully sorry, Miss Bateman. I'll try to remember. If he invited you here, then I'm sure Mr. Shoulder will tell you all about it.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of that, huh?
That's if I ever get to meet him.
I'm sure you will.
Farewell for now.
Ta-ra!
Oh, good. Okay. Oh. So click just off the edge instead of exit. Hi, Cyril.
Good day to you, Cyril.
How do, lass?
What are you up to, Cyril?
Keeping an eye on that bleeding railway station. That's what, thankfully. No one got off the last train.
Really hate that station, don't you?
Oh, I curse Midland Railway for bringing their damn line through Bewley. This is our town, our land.
Frankly, you can keep it. It sucks here.
There's no place for outsiders.
So you keep saying.
Anyway, no more trains today. Almost time to celebrate with an ale, I think.
I could do with one myself.
You paying?
No. I found Mr. Shoulder's house today, but he wasn't home.
Why the bleeding hell should I care, lass?
Cool.
I'm looking for Hobbs Barrow. Do you know where it is?
Mind your own business, lass.
You really
Cool.
are quite helpful, aren't you?
Bah.
Goodbye.
A reasonable response. So there are at least 4 places I haven't been yet. It's possible that there may be like a second page to scroll through later, but it doesn't currently look like there's infrastructure for a scroll bar. That's where that leads? Not what I was expecting. There's also like crossroad things that like aren't depicted on the quote-unquote map. Says I gotta go north. Okay, so there's an exit there.
That must be the postmaster's storeroom. Hello.
Oh, man.
Good day. I haven't seen you in Bewley before.
I'm just visiting.
Lovely. It's nice to see a new face. We don't get many visitors.
He sounds just like a little bit like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
My name's Henry. Henry Long.
Nice to meet you, Henry. Thomasina Bateman.
Wonderful. What a treat.
Look, we did it! We found, like, one decent human being.
You seem in a good mood, Mr. Long.
for sure this man's a serial killer, though, right? Like, that's just the way this town works. Like, the one guy who will, like, actually have, like, a pleasant conversation with you and not just, like, aggressively quote Shakespeare at you and, like, drag you on a miserable, long journey. Like, that guy, he kills people for fun and maybe profit, I don't know.
It's just lovely to see a new face. Where are you from, Miss Bateman?
I'm gonna trust this guy, but, like, he's for sure a murderer. At this point, I feel like every time I've tried to lie to someone, like, the game just says, like, nah, you're, like, not capable of lying. You don't have enough skill points in deception or whatever.
Originally, a small town on the outskirts of Derby, Mr. Long. Though I currently reside in London.
London? I've never met anyone from London. How very exciting. Have you lived there a long time?
It's been quite a few years now, yes.
I've heard that the air there is so heavy with smoke, it makes it hard to breathe. Is that true?
Some days.
Oh, you must miss the fresh northern air. Well, you've got that in Bewley. No factories out here. Such things are a blight on his creation.
Now, when you say such things, you're referring to Bewley, right? Because Bewley is a blight on his creation?
I were born in this very home I stand in front of. Bewley is in my blood. Why would I ever want to leave? Especially now I can meet new folk thanks to the railway line.
I mean, I didn't suggest that you should leave, although, frankly, I think you should leave. I'm looking for Mr. Price, the postmaster.
I'm looking for Mr. Price, the postmaster.
Oh, Mr. Price, my lovely neighbour. I'm afraid you've just missed him.
Curses.
I saw him wheeling a large crate into his storeroom just there.
It must be mine. I really need it.
Have a look through the window to see if it's yours.
Where did Mr. Price go?
I don't know. The man were in a hurry. I know he has family
Yaks
in
forever.
Bakewell? Aren't the weird famous cakes from Bakewell? Does that mean Mrs. name I can't remember is not actually from this miserable town? Which explains why she's, like, relatively reasonable?
That's miles away. Did he leave by foot?
No, by horse. He must be a few miles down the road by now.
Curses. When will Mr. Price be back?
He didn't say. Could be tonight, could be a few days.
How infuriating.
I told him I'd keep watch of his storeroom, and I'm a man of my word, Miss Bateman. I shall not budge from this spot.
For multiple days?
Do you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
Aye, funny old fellow. I hear he lives way out on the moors somewhere.
Yeah, I've sorted that one out, but it's kind of a three chicken situation.
Have you seen him recently?
No.
Those long pauses are surprisingly upsetting.
Not for a long while now that you mention it. Why do you ask?
It's a long story, but I was to meet him in Bewley.
But the thing is, we know that he was alive yesterday, so it's not even like he could have been, like, killed, and that's the explanation for why he didn't meet us.
He invited me here.
Well, I must thank him when I see him for inviting such an enchanting young woman.
You flatter me, Mr. Long. I'm looking for Hob's Barrow.
One of those old burial hills?
Yes. Do you know where it is?
Believe it or not, I haven't set foot on the moors since I were a child.
Why is that?
I've got all I need right here in Bewley.
Something wrong with this guy for sure.
We're all truly blessed with the railway station, which brings us lovely new faces.
This town is so terrible.
Your opinion of the railway station differs widely from your fellow townsfolk, Mr. Long. I've not met anyone particularly keen on it.
That railway line is the start of a new era for Bewley. Mark my words. There's much to protect here, but we need new blood. I hope that some of you visitors will actually stay here permanently.
Why is that?
So I have new friends to talk to. Some people here don't want any new friends. Cyril Farnaby, the miserable old sod, is the worst offender.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Cyril. He really dislikes the railway station.
Absolutely miserable he is. I've tried to convince him many times that the station will help Bewley. He just doesn't understand.
I met him last night in the Plough and Furrow.
Aye, the scene of our many debates. Blimey. I could go for an ale right now, actually.
Well, I can't buy you one.
Can I buy you a drink?
Really?
No. Do you think Mr. Kemp will let me open a tab?
Perhaps. You could always ask him. I shouldn't leave anyway. Mr. Price is relying on me to keep watch of his storeroom.
Goodbye.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where, like, it seemed like that might be a question about the plow and furrow. So I click on it, and I'm like, can I buy you a drink? And like, immediately after I was like, I literally can't buy this man a drink because this game keeps track of my money, and I spent it trying to learn something about the guy who stood me up. And then I'm like, can I buy you a drink? Really? No. It's like, I don't think we're friends. First funny interaction. I mean, it's a wild ride. Maybe the first... No, I don't even think that was intentional, to be honest with you. Hold on, I haven't saved in a minute. So, I said to, like, look in the window? Yeah, it's probably that
There's
ribbon
my
one,
crate.
huh?
Kenneth always ties a red ribbon to it. I can see an envelope tucked behind the ribbon.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's tucked behind the ribbon so much as it's sitting directly on top of the box, but I assume that that carries with it some explanation of why he didn't come here, and I'd really love to read
Perhaps
that.
it can help explain Kenneth's absence. I'm going to have to get in there.
The pacing of this game is so wild. It was not waiting for me to click. It just, like, was waiting.
I can't think of anything else. Royal Mail, Postmaster's Residence. This must be the local post office.
No, it's like a guy's house. I only have like one useful item.
I'm not sure what that would achieve.
I dig my way underground into the... No, okay.
Royal Mail. This must be the local...
This very much has Siberia 3 vibes, specifically in the sense that no one in this town is useful for anything, and you have to do everything by yourself. It's actually, like, kind of unusual. Like, more typically in adventure games, there's, like, a lot of, like, trying to, like, leverage people to do a thing that you want by, like, solving a fetch quest, which is a series of preposterous hoops to jump through. But, like, in this game, like, the one time I've tried to do something a little bit like that, dude, like, literally, like, pissed off into the bathroom and then beyond, and then locked the door behind him so that I couldn't follow him, and then pretended not to remember that happening, and then wouldn't provide any information, much less what he had promised in exchange for the fetch quest item. And that cost me, like, 2 whole shillings or something. I don't know how British currency works. I'm an idiot. I want to talk to the innkeeper, Stanley Kemp. Hello? Clicked on the guy. Opening a tab. I don't really want to ask about that right now. That was much more exciting when Simon Pegg was shooting it up. Agreed, it's a great movie. And also, probably better than whatever's going to happen here.
I found Mr. Shoulder's home, thanks to the help of Father Roach.
Wonderful. So you've met our vicar then?
Yes, I did. An interesting character.
Like, again, after all that's happened, there's something off-putting to me about the level of enthusiasm she still has for just, like, this town at large. I would be so ready to blow the whole town up at this point. It's so bad here.
Indeed. So, did old Leonard apologize for his absence?
Nah, he super duper didn't.
Not quite. He wasn't home.
What is that man playing at?
You tell me. I've decided to find Hobbs Barrow without Mr. Shoulder's aid.
Are you sure that's a wise idea, lass?
Probably not, but you, for some reason, won't tell me why that place is so cursed I'm not supposed to talk about
What
it.
other choice do I have? I have a feeling he is avoiding me. Do you know where I can find the Barrow?
No, sorry. I say that on my mother's grave, Miss Bateman.
My assistant has not arrived as planned.
Oh, is everything all right?
I'm not entirely sure.
Am I to keep a room for him, just in case?
If you could hold it for one more night, Mr. Kemp.
As you wish.
I mean, there's no one staying in it, probably. I'm not gonna ask him about opening a tap until I have a reason, but I just don't want it. Maybe I should, because I don't have money to pay for... No, I'm paid up through tonight, right? I don't have to worry about it yet. Hopefully I can get my crate, and hopefully that still has the money in it. That was promised to me.
I must say, last night has rather put me off using these toilets.
What's your game plan, sis? Because I don't think there's, like, a dedicated bathroom in your room, from what I could tell. Might be wrong, might have misinterpreted, but I believe that to be true.
I'd rather not go. I suspect the barrels are empty. The window box is well out of reach.
I say anything interesting to this guy yet? I'm sure he'll help.
I really must find Hob's Barrow.
What did I tell you last time? Not to be found digging.
Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
Like a little curtain, she's like, okay, goodbye.
I don't think anyone...
It takes so long for that to, like, process.
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you sure you know nothing of Hob's Barrow?
That like a wheelbarrow?
Never mind. Goodbye.
Goodbye, mate.
Good day.
Hello, mate.
Are you sure? I really must find it.
I'm sure.
Goodbye.
Bye, miss.
Goodbye. I'll ask the blacksmith too. Can't imagine he'll help.
Good day.
No one in this game helps. They're all equals.
Yes?
Are you sure you don't know where Hob's Barrow is?
Sorry, lass.
Thanks for your time.
Aye.
Alas, it is not mine to take. A fantastic specimen.
Can I ask
Good
him
day.
about this?
Yes?
I noticed your spectacular fossil specimen.
Oh, aye. I collect them. This one is called an...
Ammonite.
I'm impressed, lass.
From the Jurassic period, I'd venture.
Do you collect them too, then?
My true interests lie in comparatively modern history.
Oh, aye. Well, I do love a fossil. It's important to remember that we all end up in the soil eventually.
A charming thought.
Quite. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.
Hope not to, but I'm sure I will. Cool. I haven't ventured this way yet. Here's a spooky little girl.
Good day, little one. What's your name?
This river's really loud. It's not even a river, it's like a little creek.
Wally took Myrtle.
Pardon?
He took her and ran off. I hate him.
Well, I hate everyone in this town. Can you be more specific?
Is Myrtle one of your dolls?
Yes, my favourite. Mummy made her for me.
That is just surprisingly loud ambient creek sound. If it was a river, I could get it, but like, why?
She's so beautiful. Wally is the worst brother in the whole world.
I'm sorry to hear that. What is your name, little one?
Jane.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Jane. My name is Thomasina.
A fake name. I guess this is why adventure game protagonists can't be British. Too proper to steal things that may prove useful. They belong to other civilizations. No, because they don't belong to other civilizations. If it was a priceless Egyptian artifact, it'd go right in the pocket. Stick burn.
This is a lovely little beck.
Is it? I wouldn't know to call it that.
Where we get our water, miss. It's good for drinking and cleaning.
The fact that, like, the greenery in this game has these, like, weird little creeping animations, like, spooks me the heck out.
Your dolls look lovely, Jane.
Thank you, miss. I love them very much. Today was their birthday.
Why did your brother take Myrtle away?
He's just jealous because Daddy is letting me come with him to the market tomorrow.
In search of
Wally
cabbages.
thinks I'm Daddy's favourite, so he took Myrtle from me. What if he rips her to tatters? What if he feeds her to Mr. Bryden's goat?
Don't worry, Jane. I'm sure he wouldn't do such a thing. Where did your brother go?
I don't know. Home, maybe.
Just no one is helpful in this game at all.
I have to wait here for Myrtle's friends to dry out.
Do you know an old man called Leonard Shoulder?
No, miss.
Have you heard of a place called Hobb's Barrow?
I have, yes.
Wow, I'm shocked.
You have?
We aren't supposed to talk about it.
Why not?
Would you like to go there?
Very much, yes.
I would very much like to.
I'll tell you where it is if you find Myrtle for me.
This is the adventure game quest I've been looking for 3 hours.
You will?
Yes, but don't tell anyone about it or I'll be told off.
Deal, little girl.
Promise.
Please find Myrtle first.
I will. Where do you live?
Our home is on the other side of the village, miss. Maybe Wally went back there. Or maybe he's left her out on the moors. Poor Myrtle. I'm going to kick him so hard.
That seems fair.
Where do you live?
Our home is on the... I'm going to...
Goodbye.
Surprisingly unhelpful description.
Hey! Stay away from that!
Oh?
It's bad luck to touch the Ammon's horn.
Oh?
I'm serious.
Fine.
Very
They aren't mine
odd.
to take. Damp rag dolls have been laid out to dry in the dreary sun.
What did you call me?
Sweet little flowers.
Give it. Shove it in my pocket.
The delicate flowers smell rather sweet.
But she didn't take any? Hold on.
No, that won't achieve anything useful.
What? No.
That's a
I need inventory items. I'm sick of just talking to miserable people in this terrible town. Give me an item. Other side of town, huh? Can't, like, walk... They're in a straight line there. Is it possible to go south from here? I think so. Oh, wait. Maybe her house is that one that we had to pass last night. Because that's kind of as far from there as possible. Sort of. Boy?
Hello there. My name's Thomasina.
Yeah?
What's yours?
Wally?
Get dumpstered, Wally. Give me the doll.
Jane tells me you've taken Myrtle away.
And what if I did?
That's a bit mean, don't you think?
She kicked me! Look at this bruise on my leg!
I really thought we were going to get like a
does look quite
super
bad.
close-up.
Why did she kick you?
Because she's a little goblin! You don't know what she can be like! Besides, Myrtle is gone now.
What did you do to Myrtle? I have a certain set of skills. I'm a psychopath who plays adventure games semi-professional.
I've given her to the fair folk. That'll teach her.
Are the fair folk the, like, druid people?
Who are the fair folk?
The little people of the moors.
Yeah, I think it's the
I gave
druids.
Myrtle to him.
Little people? You don't mean fairies, do you?
We call them fair folk round here.
Oh, no, okay.
Wally, there is no such thing as fairies.
It's true, and I gave him a doll.
Do you know a man called Leonard Shoulder?
I love how psychotic it sounds like asking these questions out of sequence. It's like, yeah, I could ask more about the fairies and what he did with the dollar. I could just be like, do you know, like, a weird old guy who lives far away from here?
Have you heard of a place called Hobb's Barrow?
No.
Where can I find these fair folk?
Follow the tinkle of their tiny bells. I hear 'em when the wind dies. They dance around their little house.
Now, the problem is that the wind never dies around here. There's just a constant, spooky, ambient wind blowing.
But where is this little house?
Just listen for the bells. You'll find it. Don't think about bringing that doll back. That'll just bring bad luck for all of us.
Goodbye.
If you
The
came
road
this way...
disappears over the horizon. I see nothing but moorland.
Really can't go any farther, huh? So where am I supposed to find the fairy house? In the woods? By the vomit? Let me just check the vomit woods. The vomit's gone! Who took the vomit? Planning on using it later. Don't ask for what, that's not your business. Ah, I can go further into the woods, which was not an option before. Guessing I can hear the bells somewhere around here.
No doubt home to many a woodland creature. I have no desire to go rooting about in there.
I shall see you later this evening,
Oh.
gents.
What on the earth? What the hecking heck?
Well, I say. Greetings, my dear.
Somehow wasn't what I was expecting. Like a higher population density than town square in like a random spot in the woods.
Hello, sir.
A pause on your beauty, for I shall see you again soon.
What?
Wait. Some nerve.
Lady, you're blushing.
I most certainly am not.
Sorry, lass. No way through here today.
Explain?
Says who?
Lord Panswick.
Explain.
Now get back before you find yourself under a falling tree.
I guess the fact he just does scum engine shrink off screen is hilarious. It's pretty good.
My name is Thomasina Bateman.
Oh, aye? You're not from round here, Thomasina Bateman.
No, just visiting.
Do you know Leonard
Do
Shoulder?
you know a man named Leonard Shoulder?
No, I don't. Can you let me get back to my work now?
God, this place is miserable.
Do you know where I can find a place called Hobbs Barrow?
Never heard of it.
What is your name, sir?
Horace.
Are you in charge here?
I am indeed.
Tell me, who was that arrogant man here just now?
Just someone passing by.
Don't believe
Sounded
that.
like you knew him better than that.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's none of your business.
What on earth is with this weird town? Everyone is constantly like, well, everything you could possibly ask about is none of your business because you're not from around here. You better tell me your whole gosh dang life story, or I'm gonna kill you with this woodcutting axe.
What are you doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? We're chopping down trees.
There is no need to be sarcastic.
We're employed by Lord Panswick. He's ordered us to gather logs from his woods. That's what we're doing.
These are his woods.
Aye, his lordship owns most of the land round Beoley.
Not worth much.
Who is Lord Panswick?
Our governor.
He's the governor of the whole town.
All right, Owen, back to work now.
He lives in Bewley.
Aye, not far away, but his lordship doesn't like questions. Or visitors. Now please leave us to our work.
Why are you gathering logs for Lord Panswick?
Because he said
By
to?
heck, you ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, and you don't give satisfactory answers, so the questions will keep coming until morale improves.
If you must know, his lordship is repairing an old ruin on his land. We need the timber for the restoration work.
How intriguing. What type of ruin is Lord Panswick restoring?
An old chapel.
I should rather like to see it.
Not possible. His lordship does not welcome visitors to his estate.
Thanks for your time.
We'll be done by tomorrow morning. Come back then if you want to explore the woods.
How am I supposed to get the doll to go to the stupid cursed Barrow if I can't find the Tinkle house in
I'll
the
let
woods?
him get on with his...
Lass, there's no way down the path today.
I don't really understand why I should be blocked. I understand it's a narrative convenience, but I genuinely am confused as to, like, what is to stop me. It's the woods. I missed the vomit already. Mom's spaghetti.
What a peculiar name, the Devil's Toe. I can't quite see the resemblance myself.
Have you seen the Devil's Toe?
The Devil's Toe, a local landmark.
I'm hoping the little blonde druid girl would be here. I think I haven't gone north of this next spot, have I? Wait. Okay.
I'd better not touch them. They could be poisonous.
This is like a fairy circle,
something
right?
has been buried in the middle.
It's trow time! What's happening? We're gonna look real close at her eyes? Oh, we sure are!
Thomasina, please stop leaving your toys lying about the place. What happened the last time you left your dolly under the tree?
A fox ate it, madame.
Hate when that happens.
Yes, it did. Fetch it now, won't you? Then I'll fix your supper.
Yes, madame.
Game saved? What's happening? It's just a Stargate to Victorian England. Worse than that, it seems to be a Stargate to my memories of Victorian England. I think I might have to end the stream because I wouldn't say that I'm not enjoying this game, but I feel like playing it takes a heavier toll than a normal video game does. The atmosphere is like super heavy, and interacting with these characters is really trying. Like, everyone is just so miserable and unhelpful. It really, in some ways, does remind me of the Ukels in Siberia 3. It's like a lot. It's like a lot. Tell me, chat. Tell me, Big Vasco. What do you think of this game so far? I'm very curious. It's not what I expected because I don't think I could have imagined the reality of what this game has been so far. Not feeling it. I'm a little surprised by that. You seem to be liking the vibe before. Can you elaborate? Fully engrossed, but a little intrigued. I mean, I think there's a real issue of pacing here. In that, like, I kind of feel the same way, I think, Haggis. Like, it's just, like... How do I articulate this? Because it's like... It's not that I need, like, constant action or everything to, like, flow super easily. In fact, like, on some level, I kind of like that it takes a more deliberate pace, but I think it swings, like, too far in the other direction of, like, there's, like, too much obfuscation of, like, what I'm supposed to do or how or why. So, like, I'm kind of just wandering around, and, like, even that might be kind of forgivable if it weren't for how absolutely miserable the environment is. it's like no individual one of these things is like, oh, like this game is like unforgivably bad or whatever. But like all of them together creates this weird gestalt of like a constant but relatively mild grating sensation, which I think is what I'm describing as like it takes more of a toll than playing like a normal video game. Is like I'm just trying to find Leonard Shoulder. Like I'm just trying to find Leonard Shoulder. It doesn't seem like it should be that hard. The population of this town is like 16. Where is Leonard Shoulder? Why is that so difficult? Yeah, I don't know what to do with this. Like I'm interested in it. Yeah. It's like that. It's like if the game's whole thing is like be engrossed in the experience of like just this extremely slow small town life and like the pace of the game was meant to suit that, I feel like I would want certainly a lower percentage of the interactable characters in the game to be like openly hostile to me just being present in the town. And like I understand why the characters don't want people coming to their town. So it's not like I'm like, why are they so hostile? But like, from the perspective of like, me trying to play a video game and just find Leonard Shoulder, like, why are they being so hostile? Like, you know what? I honestly, I feel very much for Thomasina, the character with the extremely fake name, in that, like, I kind of feel like the game devs invited me to play this game. Why are they being so hostile? Which I think is similar to the experience she has coming to this town, is like, you asked me to come to this stupid Barrow. I don't know what to do with this one yet. But then again, I still don't really know what to do with Murder by Numbers. If you haven't already, I got a poll up on the Discord to help figure out what we're doing there. So you should go and check that out and tell me what you think. I'm kind of swap on and off between this and Indiana Jones and the Secret of Atlanta. Here's the thing, Haggis. Like, go look up, like, the trailer for this game. The trailer kind of makes it look like it's adjacent to, like, Indiana Jones and the Secret of Atlantis. Which is, like, one of the reasons why I was like, yeah, I kind of want to check this out. Obviously, in myriad ways, it is different. Yeah, it looks interesting, right? It's tough. I don't know. I might give this, like, another week to see if, like, we hit, like, a chapter mark and something. Like, I think I would like to either find the Barrow or find Leonard Shoulder before, like, giving up on this game. Because, like, I feel like if one of those things happens and the game still doesn't provide anything interesting, I feel like that's the indicator that, like, it's not gonna be it. Like, it's not gonna be the thing. But, like, I think there's still a chance that we're, like, the pace of the story is so slow that we're still, like, technically in the first act or something. I don't know why the first act must be a corgi-pulled dog sled ride through 20 scenes of passive aggression and Shakespeare Vicar quizzes. I feel like that's a question that answers itself, though, isn't it, Haggis? Also, hi, Sarah. How's it going? I think we're pretty much concluded the stream. We've been trying out the excavation of Hob's Barrow, which defies explanation. It is, as someone who's played a much higher percentage of adventure games than literally any person I've ever met, I've never played anything like this. It's just, it is entirely unique. I mean, like, honestly, I am anticipating a Lovecraftian turn. I could be wrong. I mean, I got Lovecraft vibes from Lamplight City, and it definitely wasn't that. But, like, this is supposed to be a horror game, from everything I can tell. So, like, I mean, it's spooky in the sense that, like, spending any amount of time in Bewley seems, like, horrific, because it's just such a miserable place to be. But, like, nothing overtly scary has happened. There's been, like, a lot of ominous wind sounds, but, like... This is a horror game, I must be immune to horror. Well, I mean, clearly the pace of this game is, like, Arctic. It's, like, glacial, but, like... I mean, again, like, look it up. Like, it's clearly, like, supposed to be scary. We had, like, a nightmare about a cat. That was very scary. Were you not alarmed? But yeah, I think I've talked myself through this. I think I want to do one more stream of this. And if by the end of that stream we have not found Leonard Shoulder, found Hob's Barrow, or figured out why I'm supposed to be playing this game, then we will be certain that we don't need to play this game. But I think there's enough promise in what this game is that I'm gonna give it like one more shot, like one more go. I think that's reasonable. I like the atmospheric music of memory of being a child. But like, yeah, this game is like kind of difficult to play, at least in what we've experienced so far, because, you know, like Haggis was saying, like, you kind of just like wander a really long time to like meet a new character, and almost all of them are like openly hostile towards you and will like specifically avoid telling you anything to advance the story or your current mission. Does that Squishmallow have a latte? Oh, it sure does. Have you not met? Well, hang on. First off, somewhere I've hidden a secret Squirtle. I do encourage you all to try and find it. Obviously, if it's not this Squirtle, he's just vibing, just hanging out in plain sight. But like somewhere on or under or potentially even inside of something is a Squirtle. Because I got some of my baskets up here. They you know, like there's room for Squirtle. We got like Big Naomi, we got like Brown Bear, like it could be just like check it, see if you can find it. Phone auto-corrected to Larry Shoulders. I love it. I don't know why that's like better. Like, I don't know why the game is, or I don't know why your phone is like, I'm sure what you meant to say was Larry Shoulders, who definitely sounds like an alias for like a mobster. From being hostile and passive aggressive sounds like people at work. Yeah, it's something I'm familiar with for sure. Like that lady I was complaining about on yesterday's stream. Is a latte? Yeah, we'll get a closer look at the latte. But like, yeah, basically. I mean, I think maybe it's a hot chocolate, but it's like it's debatable. Leisure Suit Larry Shoulders. That's the game we need. We need like a really overtly sexually themed game that has like an extremely slow pace and all of the characters like absolutely aren't attracted to the protagonist, which admittedly basically is Leisure Suit Larry except for the pace. In fairness. Alright, let's gather some of these guesses up. You think Squirtle's behind Wally? Or Eeyore? Any others? Any other guesses? Of course, locating the Squirtle is an omen of good luck in the week to come. So it's like, it's worth your seconds to pick a place. Big Pusheen. Wait, I don't have a big Pusheen. I also don't think regular Pusheen is on the couch. Which one, Arcadius? Get some friend zone fun. We need that. Big narwhal. Ah, I see. Griffin. Got it. Yeah, we do kind of have two big narwhals, huh? Got like big. Very big. Let's start here, shall we? Got our Driftlings. Hiding back there, we got a group. We got like a medium-sized group. We have Big Naomi with her tail. Very good. I would demonstrate what's down there, but it's currently holding up Eve. So why don't we work on that too? Someone would guess perhaps Squirtle was hiding under Eeyore. And behind Eve. But it's a little rabbit friend. Not a Squirtle. So I was curious. From structural integrity. Big Evie was hiding back there to help hold Naomi up. Us big friends. Everything. So I guess behind Wally. Hiding behind there is another rabbit. He's still pretty mad, just like I am. Don't anyone tell me about Leonard Shoulder? Any other guesses? That was them. I think those were they. E under E. Is that a guess, Sarah? Do you think perhaps Squirtle is hiding under our remaining little Evie? Because if it were hypothetical, it would be correct in that this basket is entirely filled with Squirtles. Oh no, I dropped him. Oh no, little Squirtle. Coming with me, little Squirtle. Do I still owe Sarah? Look at... What's the... This is... Shantira. Zoom, focus. She is a pterodactyl. Her little bio in her tag says that she likes to like knit dinosaur footy pajamas for her friends. I figure that you would love her. And yeah, as I said when I first introduced her on the stream, because my mom got this for Valentine's Day, that little smile is like the cutest thing I've ever seen. She like loves this little hot cocoa, or whatever it is, so much. Plus she's got like sparkly wings. She's just like an extremely good friend. She's very, very good. Valentine's Day has the best squishmallows, is my feeling. Oh yeah, also, you probably can't tell, but she's got like fluffy fur stomach, which like doesn't make any sense for a pterodactyl, but like I frankly don't care. This does not affect me in the slightest. It's just very good. It's a very good package. But yeah. So yeah, I think where we're at. I haven't checked the Discord poll since I went live. But I mean, it seems like people are leaning towards trying to finish at least the story of Murder by Numbers. I don't think I've quite gotten a conclusive sense whether people want to continue with the optional puzzles. But I think we'll probably keep going with that next Friday, unless like I get a sense that that prevailing feeling has changed. And then next Saturday, we're gonna give at least one more shot to the Excavation of Hob's Barrow. I really don't know what's happening here, like, at all. I'm so confused by everything that's in this game, up to and including, but not limited to, that scene where I clicked on a chicken and she just picked it up and she's like, "Hey, Vicar, wanna hold my chicken?" I'm just like, I am so confused about the state of reality right now. I'm sorry that you never found Fantastic. I hope maybe there's still some chance for that. I know how important that probably is to you because Colossum Carlos has literally changed my life. To have a Loch Ness monster with toothless ears? That sounds pretty good. I can't even picture what that would look like, but it sounds really good. Alright, that's gonna do it for the stream this week. I hope that you have enjoyed. whatever the heck this game is. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Whether that's next weekend for those things I described or sometime in the future. Stay safe, have a good time, and as always, remember that you are claws.